Awakening for the night is Solomon, Clan Zamitsi, played by Nitro Taipat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Elias of Clan Salubri, played by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Marcelina of Clan Hakata, played by Larissa Rave. Please rouse check to awaken for the night. Skull of Clan Bruja, played by Comic Book Joker of the RPG table and Occasion Night server. Please do a rouse check to arise from your torpor. You're getting hungry tonight. Last but never least, Violet of Clan Nosferatu, played by Dark Scarlet. Please do a rouse check to arise from torpor. You're also getting hungry tonight.
Yay.
This week we begin. Let's go with that. Skull has made his way to the coteries' temporary haven as soon as he has arisen to take Marcelina to the fight club. Marcelina leaves the haven, gets into Skull's sports car that drives off into the night, and heads south into the city. As the car drives into the night, past various apartment blocks, small patches of farmland, and heads away from the more generally well-built areas of Funabashi, is there anything you would like to talk about? The car drives past a large park, and the road slowly fades into a single track that doesn't even bear any road markings upon it. The car drives along the track and comes to what looks like an abandoned large farmhouse. An old, small one-floor building that bears rust and windows with pieces of wood blocking them up are spread around the area. A main road runs either side of the area, and only the occasional car passes by. Not too far from the more developed areas of Funabashi, it can be seen, with a hue of the many streetlights emanating from the area, scouring the sky with an unearthly glow. The car comes to a halt to a waist-high wall made of breeze blocks, and Skull gets out announcing their arrival, as he and Marcelina walk past the scaffold skeleton of a former building and guides her into a larger corrugated tin-roofed farm building, opening the door that seems to be just barely hanging on its hinges, and reveals a concrete stairway that leads down under the building to a large cast iron door with a number lock next to it. Skull punches in a code and opens the heavy door as the sound of people laughing, shouting, and screaming fills the gangway as the pair step inside, closing the door with a metal clang. Marcelina, Skull, as you walk around the relatively crowded area, mostly filled with ghouls, centered around a large cage that is currently filled with two kindred fighting. What would you like to talk about?
Well,
Oh, this is your place. Very
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
What do I see other than obviously like the crowds in the cage? Anything interesting?
It's fairly nondescript, and
Okay.
that's mostly by design. If everybody has to make a quick escape, there's less stuff around to give information away.
Right.
But other than the crowd and a cage with two kindred fighting, there's one guy that's by a table with a couple of money boxes and some books around him, very obviously around for gambling purposes.
Yeah. All right. As I'm taking a quick peek around at everybody, kind of scanning the crowd, do I see that it's primarily kindred, or are there some kind here as well?
There appear to be non-kindred present. But considering how openly the kindred that are here are, they don't seem to have any issues with, what would be traditionally be viewed as somewhat breachy behavior.
Okay.
So It's more likely ghouls than regular kind.
Okay, so I don't need to blush a laugh. All right, that's wonderful.
Yeah, no,
Um,
so yeah,
hmm,
if they're in here, they are either kindred or they are ghoul. So
all right then.
yeah.
Cattle and their cattle then. Uh, and I will kind of not move away too far or anything, but just kind of getting closer to the cage itself because I want to watch some of the fighting. And as we draw forward, she'll turn to Skull and say, "Is there a list of who's fighting tonight, or is it kind of a free for all?"
We do usually have a
Okay.
but we knowing you were coming tonight, he'll go over to the booker, he'll grab a clipboard, tap a blank section. I left a spot open for you if you want it.
You know that I do. And she does give like a very warm smile. And you can see she's kind of excited by all the fighting and violence. So, yeah,
All right, so
she'll
you
definitely.
want an actual fight, or you want a tomato can?
I want to fight. I want a real fight.
Okay.
Um, with that, she will be
Mm-hmm.
kind of scanning, just having a good look. See, um, storyteller. Would I be able to see who who the fighters are, or does it kind of just seem
Currently,
like?
there is Ryu, Guile, and it sounds like Scorpion's in there as well.
Delightful. That's real good. That's what I like to hear. Yes, that's what I like to hear. And wonderful. Okay. Is this? Are we? From what I can see, is it bare knuckle? Is weapons allowed? Like, and then if weapons are allowed, what kind of weapons? You know, the general.
All right,
Fighting.
well, Skull will actually have the write in Marcelina, and then he'll put another name next to hers. Okay, and so are you looking for just hand to hand? Looking for weapons? You're looking for powers?
Well, let's see. How about a little bit of everything? Can I do that? Are there rules? Am I allowed to just have as much fun as I'd like, or do I have to contain myself a little bit?
Diablerie is a no-go
Mm.
within the walls.
Okay, good to know. And you can see that she does obviously take note of that, but there is a little mischievous glint in her eye.
Yeah.
No.
Diablerie, don't do it in here.
Okay.
Also,
Yes.
if they forfeit, the fight is over. If they go torpid, the fight is over.
Okay. All right. I can do that. I can control myself.
Other than that, no holds barred.
Wonderful. All right then. And if there is an open seat, she will take it so that she can watch the fight.
Mm-hmm. He'll look at the board. This one seemed to start, but it looks like it's a pair of gangrel going at each other.
Oh.
So I don't anticipate it lasting long.
Oh, all right. And I will, with fascination, watch the gangrel fight. So I can take some notes mentally. Is this a thing of who I fight, whoever the winner is?
Oh no, you've got your own opponent. You've got your own special opponent.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, delightful. Sounds great to me. No, never mind. That doesn't make sense to do. I will patiently wait for my turn to go. Actually, before I do that, sorry. So sorry. Storyteller.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh no, I don't think that applies. Never mind. It doesn't apply. Never mind.
Okay.
We can keep it. We can keep it pushing. Yeah.
And the gangrel fight will eventually wind down after lots of hair pulling and bitch slaps and name calling. In the traditional gangrel sense. And one of them will be dragged out by their ankles, leaving a bloody smear on the inside of the cage.
Marcelina does look almost intoxicated by this. The smell itself, I don't know if it incurs hunger, but she's definitely getting hungry.
What's your hunger level?
Kindred, my hunger level. I'm at 2 hunger right now.
Oh, you're fine. Don't you worry about that. Don't you be fussing and feuding.
Alright then. I'm in a good spot then. But yeah, you can tell she's getting kind of excited. She's like, okay, can't wait for my turn.
Hi. Do you want to borrow my cricket bat?
Oh, right. Hello. She will turn to Violet. Oh, darling, that does look lovely. You'll be all right without it?
Mm-hmm. I didn't
And
spook
yes,
you,
I
did
love
I?
No, not at all, no. I figured you'd probably be around, hanging out with us.
I wanted to see where you were going.
Oh, yes, I just want to enjoy what Skull's little club has to offer.
I have a question
Violet
for
waves at
Marcelina.
Yes.
There was a very wise man in the early 90s that wore a hockey mask who did say that you need to know what a crumpet is before you can use a cricket bat. And if Solomon doesn't get that reference, he should hang his head in shame.
Amazing. Thank you for that. I don't know what to do with it, but thank you. I really appreciate those wise words. I'm actually, since Violet has, appeared to us, I'm gonna take a maybe, if I can, a subtle peek at Skull to see his reaction to her suddenly appearing. How's Skull doing?
Might I invite a wits insight roll? Because he's trying to maintain a semblance of composure.
Okay.
So I would want to roll composure and composure and subterfuge.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
As he's trying to maintain composure, can I see if he is able to maintain composure?
Yeah, no.
Or is that not?
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh, okay.
I would be rolling my composure subterfuge against your wits insight.
Got it. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's have at it. Now I don't know if this counts as my special thing, but I do have a specialty in awareness. For Kindred specifically. Could I use that?
Oh yeah, that'll apply. Yeah, have a +1 bonus.
Wonderful. So let's do that. And
Reasonable.
then you said wits, right?
Wits and awareness.
Ooh. Alright, well, I thought that would help me better. It did not.
He's
And you
either
can't
as
see.
cool as a cucumber. Yeah, he's either as cool as a cucumber, or he's doing a really good job of pretending he is right now.
Okay.
At least
Right.
in your eyes.
Okay. She says nothing, lets him have that, and we'll turn to Violet and say, did you find yourself doing all right on your way here? I didn't see any cars following us, so I'm interested how you got here.
Nosferatu's secret.
Oh, good to know. You are quite talented, Miss Violet.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm good at
Right.
sticking my nose where it's not wanted, even if I don't have one.
No, you are very much wanted, darling. There is, when she says that, Marcelina does have this kind of like the smile that almost seems a little bit too big for her face. Not necessarily menacing or trying to be intimidating, but that kind of like that fascination that maybe oh, I don't know what's a good comparison, but it's a fascination that she has with Violet at this moment. So. Right. All right, I'm antsy. Come on, let's get to fighting.
All
Come on.
right. And
Okay, all right.
Skull will get up. He will walk into the cage himself as the victorious Gangrel leaves. He goes, all right, everybody. It's time for an unscheduled bonus round. So everybody's got about 90 seconds to get to the wager table if you want to do something with that. Otherwise, first things first. Someone who I have been getting to know just a little bit in the last few nights. I think she's going to have a great time in here. Let's give her a fantastic welcome. Let's hear it from Marcelina, everybody.
So, as everyone cheers, I will look to Violet and grab the cricket bat and kind of put it over my shoulder and walk up into the cage.
If this is a bonus round, is she fighting a barrel? Or has she got to beat up a car?
You are the worst. All right. She kind of twirls the bat around a little bit in her hand, kind of testing its weight, and then gets into a fighting stance.
All right, and you people who have been here for, at least a few months are probably familiar with this. My clan.
Huh.
But, he'll do a fucking number on you if you let him. Let's hear it for the car.
You could have had fun with that and just called him Ford.
Nah.
By the way, since Shiva
Toyota.
seems to be asking, she looks like she's in a southpaw position with the bat in hand.
Left hand grip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Marceline is a lefty.
Yeah, this guy who looks like he was a bodybuilder in his mortal life, who kind of walks in.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. Are we talking like heavyweight, or are we talking like more the lean kind of swimmers fitness?
Oh, we're talking heavyweight, but not all of the muscles are exactly practical.
Okay. All right. I understand. Okay.
Like it's very much like very much Skull was thinking along the lines of, if he can get a hold of if he gets a hold of Marcelina is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if she's able to stick and move and actually maintain range, she should have a fairly decent time.
All right then. With that, as she's kind of peering at this man, I don't know what the role would be for this, but she does want to kind of take a look at him and do like a very Sherlock moment where she kind of like looks at his body and sees. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where she kind of sees what's his weak points. Best place to hit him first.
intelligence, medicine, wits, and awareness, whichever you would prefer.
Okay, well, we're gonna go.
You could
What was
apply
it, did you
the
say?
intelligence and medicine, or wits and awareness.
All
Your
right, we're
site
gonna do.
speciality is awareness.
It is.
That would apply if
Specifically
you're
for
going to use
status.
wits and awareness.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use medicine and intelligence instead, and hopefully roll well.
Like to stick with it, or would you like a reroll? Go crit fishing.
Right. I think I will. I think I will do a reroll.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. That'd be a willpower reroll, right? Am I
Yep.
right on that? Okay. Then I believe all of them, right? I think I did that right.
You can only re-roll. You can only re-roll
Oh,
two
okay.
because of the 2 black dice, and you only
Oh,
really
right,
want to re-roll the 1-2 if you want to go crit fish.
Okay, so let me just change that real quick. So only 1 dice. We leave it at that then.
And you'll look him over, and the only thing that you can assume is you can try and wear him out, which is just pretty much common knowledge for someone who's built like a brick shithouse.
Cool. And then real quick for me, how much space do I have in this cage? Like, especially with him in it. Do I have room to move around?
Well, as a female fighter, you can actually jump off the corner of the screen as a sort of double jump back.
Okay, so the cage is a dodecahedron. It's a 12-sided cage.
Okay.
And it's fairly spacious. There is plenty of maneuvering room.
Okay. All right then. Cool.
Skull won't leave just yet. All right. This is a no-holds-barred match. So, shy of final death, as long as your opponent doesn't quit, you keep going.
Wonderful. So, in the name of showboating, she does kind of stick the cricket out at him and point it at him, and it like lifts it a little bit as like a come hither gesture.
Skull will look at, that is my cue to get the fuck out of the way.
Yes, she is complete. You will see that she sort of like her body kind of her stance and such changes, where she tunnel visions on him, and you can see sort of the little you know about her kind of come through, that she is definitely like ready to go.
Gull will waste 0 time by using Soaring Leap to clear the top of the cage.
Yeah.
Little girl, play with bat. Little girl, going to die.
Amazing.
I'm hoping there's going to be a TV involved, just so I can get the line in. Quick, change the channel.
There's a myriad of various weapons that are arranged just in arm's length, just in arm's reach along the sides of the cage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
are we talking like knives and bats and such, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay.
Is there a hammer?
Cool.
A big old sledgehammer. Yes.
Perfect. I take hammer and crush you like oppressive government.
Yeah.
Marcelina does laugh out loud.
I don't think that sounded as good as you wanted it to, man. Also, by the way, fight.
So while he's distracted by Skull, she's actually going to take her gun out, because she does still have all her weapons, and she's going to shoot this man in the knee.
Motherfucker.
Or sort of aim for the leg is the goal.
You'll notice you'll notice there were no rules against bringing your own weapons or against firearms.
I made sure to ask just in case.
Marcelina, without even hesitation, fires off a single round from her pistol that impacts deep into the kindred's leg. He barely seems to notice, though, as blood trickles out of the wound. Do some quite nice bit of damage there.
Alright then.
Your bullets are puny like your pathetic American values.
You can't do this. I'm not going to be able to.
He's straight out of the 80s.
Oh my god! Right.
And he's going to take the sledgehammer. He's going to take the sledgehammer and he's going to do something really stupid.
Okay. Well, we'll see if he hits, right?
Russian, Australian, and why is he in Japan?
He hasn't decided. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I've been very confused since we lost Iron Curtain.
Oh my god! Help!
Dex and athletics if you want to dodge.
Okay, Dex athletics. Let's see here.
And he takes a sledgehammer high into the air and brings it slamming down. You easily move out of the way and just point and laugh at him.
Wonderful. So he goes to do
you
that.
You are slimier and faster than your own American values.
So as he does all that, so he's gonna bring it down or attempt to hit me, and I dodge out the way and immediately run up the side of the cage, and I'm gonna like launch myself off the cage and bring the cricket down on its head.
Strength melee. Oh. Okay. Would you prefer Dex melee or Strength melee?
Dex for sure.
Dex and melee, and he's gonna dodge.
Ugh, not great. But hopefully he did worse.
Not great, not bad.
Okay, alright.
I got 4 hit. You can reroll if you'd like.
I think I do want to reroll. And that's only 2, right? Let's see here. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to, like, stun him with this hit, by the way.
As you jump off the cage, he sidesteps out of the way, and you land perfectly, gracefully, upon the floor, not doing any damage.
Okay. Okay. That's alright. Okay, then. Am I behind him, or am I...
You are as aimless as your American government.
I have nothing to say to this man.
And he's just gonna take the hammer and spin it round like that's called a hammer, isn't it? In the Olympics. So that's try and hit you. You can dodge with Dex and athletics.
Alright.
Or you can counter attack as well, but then that would be your go. These dice. I am changing 3 of these dice.
What do I want to do? I think, you know what? I think I'm just going to dodge. So what is it? It's what? And
Dex and athletics.
And definite. Okay.
I get rid of these unlucky dice.
I don't want to re-roll. If he gets me, he gets me.
Oh! And he will just barely get off a glancing blow on the side of your arm with the sledgehammer, and that's going to turn into 2 superficial damage as it just nicks you.
Alright. Okay.
Feel power
Wonderful.
of Soviet hammer!
Alright. Do I see a nice big... I would like a sickle. Is there a sickle hanging off this cage? I would like one. Wonderful. So I'm going to take one. Kind of reach back and grab that. And I'd like to take a slice. If I can, I would like to take a slice at his face.
Dex
Like
melee.
an upswing.
Do you want that just for flavour, or specifically you want to go for his face?
Oh, no, that's just for flavor. If I, in the upswing, can catch his face, that's what I'd like to do.
And he's going to try and dodge.
Okay, Dex and melee. Yes.
Damn.
What's that face, Shiv? I don't know what it means. Oh god, he's got the book open. Okay. Right.
Marcelina!
Yes.
This was with the sickle, right?
Yes, it was. The sickle. Yes.
You flash the sickle through the air, striking Kindred straight between the eyes and impaling him, probably piercing through the skull, cutting the brain in two. His eyes go cross-eyed and look at the blade between them. Ah, how ironic. And he falls to the floor, dead. As you stand over the broken corpse, though, the beast inside of you screams forth. You always need to keep your eyes and ears peeled for trouble. You are suffering from paranoia compulsion, having just killed a kindred without permission. Although technically okay, you're still not quite used to being allowed to just randomly kill other kindred. Any action not taken toward immediate disengagement from any perceived threat incurs a 2 dice penalty, and this compulsion will end once Marcelina has spent roughly an hour in a safe space. You are suffering from paranoia.
Shit. Okay. So kind of in the moment, she revels in her victory, and pulls out the sickle from his face. And then there's a look that perhaps if she's like facing Skull and Violet, they'll see it, but otherwise pretty much no one would see it. Where her eyes start to get real shifty, and she looks around and she is going to sort of climb up the cage and leap over the side rather than going through the door and just start moving towards, I guess what she would perceive as a safe space, maybe towards the back of the fighting club here.
And as you are beginning to walk towards your safe spot, a man walks out of the crowd, single-mindedly focused on you. He's dressed in a suit shirt with no tie and suit trousers. He approaches you with confidence and asks you in a fairly mild, friendly voice, "You fight damn well with your fists. We've not had someone new here for quite some time. No fault of our host, of course, but it is always a pleasure to see a new face, and then watch them pummel the ones who are getting too comfortable here."
And you are?
Dave?
Dave.
Dave.
That's
Dave.
it, Dave.
Yeah.
Right.
So
very similar to what I did to the fighter before. I'd kind of like to Sherlock him real quick, as I guess that would be wits and awareness.
Yep.
To see what I see about this man.
You can apply the +1 speciality.
Okay. Oofa. Okay. It is what it is. We gonna keep moving.
And you apply your specialization in judging people based on their appearances, you terrible, terrible person. And as you do so, the beast inside of you screams forth once more. You're already in a state of paranoia and know that if you succumb to the beast again, it could well mean the end of Skull and his fight club. You are able to suppress it by burning through your own vitae. Increase your hunger by 1.
Oh, shit. Alright.
Perhaps you or you know someone who could help me with a small problem I have.
What's your problem?
There's an abandoned storage warehouse in a... Oh my god. Onaminami. It is believed to be used by a small... Sorry, yeah.
One more time. Omen Manami?
Onaminami.
Is that how you say it?
Onaminami.
Okay.
It is believed to be used by a small group of self-proclaimed anarchs. If you're looking to vent a bit of rage, you might find it useful. One problem I've had is that the anarch group is comparatively large. A single kindred, at least one that frequents here, would surely fail. But you already know Skull. If you know others to go with you, you should take them too.
And why should I do this? What is it for me?
I don't have much to reward you with in recompense, but anything you find there you'd be welcome to keep. I can also give you some information on a certain idol that is currently in Japan.
For a second, she's dumbfounded, looking at this man that has come out of nowhere. No, sir, I think you misunderstand me. I need to know who you are. Why are you important
I'm
enough for me to do this favor for you? That means little to nothing to me. Who
Everyone
are you?
knows Dave.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
No, Dave.
I'll get right back to you, sir. And she will immediately, turn to find Skull and Violet.
I can't give you any more personally, but perhaps if you clear it out, then you could be the ones to report its clearance and availability to the Ventru Primogen.
I see.
There's no rush for this
All
to
right.
be done, really. Anarchs don't tend to move once they've set in. Part of the reason to shift the incredulous shits.
Alright then. Let me speak to my partners here, and I'll get back to you. And she's gonna go meet up with Skull and Violet.
Skull at this point will be over the fallen. It will be over the fallen car. Is he actually destroyed or is he just torpid?
He's in torpor.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I actually killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
well then that means
that case,
Violet.
In that case, Skull is just going to be all. Well, I don't get a chance to do this very often, and he'll just stand on the guy's chest. Let's hear it from Marcelina, everybody!
Y'all just
officially 1-0.
Y'all just see a lady in blue moving around through the crowd to get to Violet.
Violet is
Alright.
looking for any bleeding kindred that could feed Marcelina.
Yeah.
Scanning,
Amazing.
right.
Amazing.
Well,
As that's happening, she's gonna go to Violet first because that's who's outside, and say, Violet, I was just approached by a man named Dave. I don't know if you maybe know of him, but he's asked me to do a favor, I guess, for the Ventru Primogen for his favor to clear out a warehouse that's full of anarchs. You know anything about something like that?
Point out Dave.
Right. I will immediately, like, without any, like, trying to be subtle at all, she will literally take her gun and point at Dave.
I'm Dave. Dave.
Come here.
You want Dave?
Come here, Dave.
Fucking
walk over.
stop.
What?
Hello, Dave.
I'm Dave.
Oh my
What's your
God.
plan, Dave?
Come here.
Why are you working for the Ventru, Dave?
Things are different here. We all work together. We all have a single-minded cause to advance. Also, my name is Dave, and I'm in the Tremere. It's pretty hard to advance with a name like that in the Tremere.
I can imagine.
Sus. This man, hella sus.
Will you get the credit, Dave?
Well, I have offered to your companion here to report it yourselves to the Ventru Primogen. And then that way, you yourselves will claim any glory. Being named Dave is
Are you
glory
too
enough
weak?
for me.
Are you too weak, Dave?
I mean, I'm just one kindred. I can't take on an entire group of thugs.
You have no coterie?
No.
Oh.
I am the
If
coterie of
Skulls-
Dave.
Sounds like a beautiful coterie, Dave. Do you have a card? Your number? Something?
Certainly. I'm so glad you asked. And he'll open up his wallet, and he'll give you this business card. And just on one side, huge writing, is the word Dave.
I fucking can't stand
And on the other
it.
side, in a little corner, his
Post.
phone number.
It's at least really nice, like, calligraphy, right?
Oh yeah, and it's laminated and all that sort of thing. It's very professional.
So,
Thank you, Dave. I
Is
will be
it-
checking your credentials.
Would Skull need to rouse prowess to drag the car out of the cage?
I think so.
What's
He's a
your? How many
big-ass
dots have
man.
you got in strength?
3 dots of strength.
Oh, that's no problem. I
Actually,
mean, I say it's no problem.
double-check.
You could do it. You could do it without rousing prowess.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I was wrong. I have 4 dots of strength, so yeah.
Oh, fuck
definitely,
yeah.
No issue. Yeah. So yeah, just hook them under the legs, drag them out of the cage, stop by Marcelina and Violet, be like, look over at Dave. The fuck is this guy?
Dave.
That's Dave.
I'm Dave. What? Need a card?
Dave has a little job for us from the Ventru Primogen, apparently.
Oh joy.
Yes, apparently he wants us to clear out some anarchs from a warehouse.
Does he?
Yes, and I can't say this name because I
Dave.
don't want to fuck it up. But not his fucking name, the name of the town or the city that the warehouse is in. But I share that information with Skull as well. So you'll know where.
Skull will know that it is just 5-10 minute walk away from Elysium.
Okay, yeah, that's around the corner from Elysium.
Right. Well then,
Awfully
anything we
close.
should know? Yes, it seems strange to me that they wouldn't just send their own people.
Yeah.
Is there?
Well, I mean,
is there
we
a
are.
way?
You?
No, I meant your people, not
Like,
come and outsource.
Or,
Oh, I'm a
or at
lover,
the
not
very
a
least,
fighter.
Like,
That much I can tell, Dave. I don't trust Dave at all. Is there a way that I could? I don't know if it would be like streetwise or whatever, but I really want to know because he seems so sus to me.
Wits
Is
and
he being
insight.
honest? Oh, it's an insight. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's not to trust about a guy called Dave of the Tremere?
Ugh, that's
Well,
rough.
let's start with the T word that was there. Tremere.
Oh yes, I will have shared that he is Tremere.
That's a fair point. And you have no idea this guy could be telling the truth. This guy could be lying through his teeth. This guy could just be Tremere. But you do know his name is Dave.
Fucking hell. Alright. Well, I could keep going in a fight, so if y'all are down, we can go clear out some anarchs.
I think you're going to need more than 3 of you.
Oh, don't worry. We'll take care of this from here, Dave. You can go. Goodbye.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
I need to go. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Actually, Violet.
Yes,
Do
Skull?
you I'm sure you've got the contact information for Elias and Solomon by now, yeah?
Maybe?
I mean, if you do, it would be fantastic if you could tell them that we will be heading over to them just as soon as we get her something to eat.
Of course.
Then we can all meet at the warehouse and take care of this business. She does look antsy, and not just because of the hunger. I'm sure the hunger kind of makes it more pronounced. You can see that she has the shifty eyes, kind of like if you could see in her expression that she's like counting the steps it takes to get to the door. What weapons besides the cricket that is still in her hand and the gun?
Okay.
She does look very, very paranoid.
Violet will pull out a phone. Go back up to Dave. Say, Dave, can you open my phone for me? Chop chop.
Yeah, Dave can do this for you. Don't worry.
Oh my god!
And he will.
Skull is just going to pick up the car's legs again. Yeah, it's again. Look at Marcelina. Follow me. We'll get you some food, and then we'll see about getting you calmed down.
Right. She will follow him and the dragging body of the car.
Dragging him by the toes for irony, so he's a towed car.
Yes.
Is it hooked under his knees, but close enough?
Yeah.
Marcelina,
Yes.
Whitson Street. Yeah, Whitson Street wise for me.
All right. Lord,
Should I
I'm
re-roll?
gonna re-roll. Yeah. I hope I'm marking these off correctly.
Should be a single slash
But,
for superficial willpower.
Yeah, okay. And then I want to re-roll 2 of those, right? Anyway. I don't see shit, I guess. A little distracted.
Like success at cost.
Yeah.
You were able to find a suitable vessel to feed upon. However, due to the viciousness and pain caused by your bite, The victim is fairly reluctant to let you slake much in the way of hunger, and you will only be able to slake one hunger.
Well, that's better than nothing.
I mean, Skull was just gonna have her feed off of the car. You know, somebody.
One problem with that,
Uh-huh.
that would probably go into diablerie knowing Marcelina.
Yes, it would.
Feeding off of the car, isn't that siphoning?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, she's not gonna say no to proverbial blood bag. So what the fuck? Why not? She'll she'll feed off of the car.
Okay. Okay.
She'll try her best. She'll try her best not to diablerize him, but yeah.
You composure and resolve for me, please.
Ooh, child. All right. Composure and resolve. Ooh, okay.
Would you like to stick with it, or would you like a reroll?
I'm not gonna have any real power left, but I do want to re-roll that because that's really rough. Please help me, dice gods. Okay, okay, that's a little better.
Drain Ka of all of his vitae.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do so, you are overwhelmed with the urge to take more.
Would I be able to recognize the beast taking over here?
I think both you and Violet would, yeah.
I rush over.
Alright.
And I pull her
Yeah.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, Skull is
All
going
right.
to grab her basically by the nose and fish her.
Strength,
Wonderful.
strength, brawl. Whichever one of you between Skull and Violet's got the higher pool, I recommend, with a +1 bonus.
I have 8 dice before the bonus.
So do I.
Oh, nice.
Violet would get +2 dice in total. Because this is going to count as a brawl.
2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
If Violet would get +2 dice, and I would only get +1, then that means she would be better.
And Marcelina, strength and brawl, please.
Oh, child. Okay. The way I've been rolling tonight, you guys aren't gonna have a hard time.
Violet successfully pulls Marcelina away from the now completely dehydrated corpse, having just prevented diablerie of Ka.
When Violet pulls her away, there is a moment where she just kind of whips her head around and hisses at Violet. And her face, I imagine, would look almost monstrous in comparison to how it normally looks. Fangs all out. And for flavor, her eyes would kind of be blacked over. But once she recognizes that it is Violet, she kind of relaxes and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. I normally can control myself." And she'll
But
kind of very quickly.
You grappled. It's a proper
Yeah.
bear hug. Tiny little bear hug. And it's very strong. And
Yeah.
That
She's
is
just gonna
a true
hold-
bear hug! And he's back to being dead.
just holding
Uh-huh.
your head from behind and just keeping you very still. Just saying, breathe. Breathe. Compose. You can't do this. Not here.
Right. Okay. That's right. I can't do that here. Okay. That's right. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm all right now. And she will like fully relax, you know, as best she can considering what went down. But she does relax quite a bit. Right. So, you want to go kill some anarchs with me? You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, Skull will kind of slide in front. We'll slide in, like, you real quick. How hungry are you still?
Oh, I imagine not at all. I can slake to so that I only have the one hunger, or I'm at 0.
You're going
Since
to be at 0.
I drained this.
Yeah, you drained him,
This
so you're going to be at
man.
0.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm fine now. I'm not hungry at all.
All right.
Sorry about that. That's a lie. I'm not sorry at all.
But it's like,
but-
would Marcelina allow Skull to put a hand on her shoulder?
Yeah, I imagine should be cool with
Okay.
it. As
Yeah,
for now.
he'll
Yeah.
do. He'll put a hand on her shoulder. Marcelina, I know that's a lie. You're not sorry at all.
I'm not. No, you're right. I'm not sorry in the slightest.
Is Violet still grappling Marcelina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't let go yet.
Yeah. But
I
Violet,
will say though, I do need to get out of here. We need to go.
Okay. Do you need to be? Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I do. I need to get out.
Okay. That's
Preferably not through the crowd. Is there another way out?
Yeah. We've got like 5 ways out of here.
Wonderful.
'Cause-
Let's go.
All right.
Violet will lead her out quickly and
Yeah.
It's like on their way out, it'd be like if you, the fair lady that we came in, it's like that Marceline and I drove here in, is around front. Make a right here, and then a left, and then another right, and you'll end up going out one of the back end exits. You'll be able to go around and find the car, or you can just wait back there, and I'll drive around to you.
Right. Well, we'll find you. And she'll go
Alright,
off with Violet.
I'm just gonna. I'm just letting Ted know that cars back here are still torpid, so that he can be woken up later. For storytelling purposes, Ted is the guy who was taking the bets at the table.
Ted's going to be like, so we got a jumpstart car?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and call him Carson when he wakes up too, just to piss him off because he lost.
We could call him Skoda. Really rub it in.
Look, I'm not trying to clean up your ashes tonight.
That's fair. Why do I talk like this when I'm from Japan?
Look, that's a question that you're gonna have to get on your knees and pray to this weird god that we all have to answer to at some point.
Fair.
Right.
And and
ahead.
from there, Skull would go out the front door, get in the car, and drive it around back. So.
As we're walking, Marcelina will very simply, kind of like not even looking at Violet, but will say thank you for that earlier. I have trouble sometimes.
How old are you?
Good question. How old am I, storyteller? I don't actually know.
I didn't make your character, you tell me.
I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't write it down. Old enough. I'm fucking. I don't know. I'm 11th generation. I don't know if that helps. could give me a ballpark age here.
I mean,
Shit, I don't know.
Pick a number. 50, 60, 100? Don't go over 120, though.
I'm 105.
They'll have a lot to learn in the Camarilla. You can't do that. They don't like it. Unless the prince tells you to. Otherwise they send
Right.
someone like me. So don't do that. Okay?
Yeah, okay. She kind of laughs a little bit at the statement of, or they send someone like me. And she will say to Violet, you know, we're not that different. My people, they send me too.
There. But you wouldn't want this. Can only look after you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try my best.
I'll keep an
You
eye
can
out.
see that.
Make sure you're fed.
You can see, like, as you say that, you can see that Marceline is agitated, mostly at herself, because she lost control. You can see her kind of, like, trying to carefully, like, reconstruct her face to look the kind of normal, warm expression that she usually has. There is a little bit of, like, hiding oneself that she's, like, preparing herself for as we exit.
Violet is still, her eyes are forward, head down, but concentrating on a way out and away from people.
What would you like to do next? Would you like to make your way to the abandoned warehouse, or would you like to meet up with the coterie at your current haven? It would probably take
I think
about an hour
Violet's-
to get there.
Okay. Yeah, I think Violet had said earlier that she was going to get a hold of Solomon and Elias and let them know where we're headed.
Hopefully I managed to do that after Dave opened me phone. Dave.
What?
You're not there, Dave. Why are you following us, Dave?
Dave's
God
always
damn
there in
it, Dave.
spirit.
Damn it, Dave.
Turns out Dave was Kane.
Oh my god.
Fucking yikes.
You mean
So-
like David Kane?
Terrible.
David Kane.
Make your way to the warehouse, either sharing a ride in Skull's car or of Uber, some other means, method. Takes you about an hour to get there, so your compulsion will have passed by the time you get there. As you approach the warehouse, you can already see two figures standing outside, and the coterie arrive, united, on the gateway to the relatively small warehouse. The corrugated tin roof and metal walls show signs of rust along the edges. The gates have been removed and the entire warehouse seems shut closed. A large evergreen hedge runs along the outskirts of the entire building, obscuring most of it from any general passers-by. And as the coterie has reunited, is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Hi, she says to Solomon and Elias. Right, so, some Tremere, who does not deserve to be named, has asked us in the name of the Ventru Primogen to clear out some anarchs that seem to be here. This is the same Primogen that had asked Daisy for help in a war that he was trying to start. You remember?
Was that the Ventru Primogen?
That's right. That's right. Apparently, after we clear this place out, we can go to him, gain favor with him in doing the task.
I see. And these people we need to clear out, uh, are they good people?
Unfortunately, I haven't a clue. All I know is that they are anarch and need clearing. Now, normally I don't have a problem with such a thing, but I did want to get your feedback on it before we engage in something like this.
Well, I certainly won't be harming anyone unless they harm me. So, I'll defend myself, but I won't be raising a hand against them.
What do you think, Solomon?
Try not to make the pun. Well, I certainly don't mind, but I'm also still not as fully together as I'd like to be for any sort of dangerous proceedings. I'm having a difficult time and am in the process of finding a new way of acquiring food of my own taste. So I haven't quite gotten to heal up as much as everyone else might have.
Yes, Solomon, it's my intention today to, I know the last week we spoke and you said you needed some healing. It is my intention to sit with you and give you some healing when we find time tonight.
Ah, yes, I actually forgot, but thank you, Elias.
Right, okay. If we're not all healed up the way we need to be, I don't know that a fight with a bunch of anarchs, and we don't know shit about them, will be our best move.
Well, we could always do a bit
That's
of reconnaissance.
technically true, but we could try using our eyes and our words.
Exactly.
And
All right, then.
because
Okay,
worst case
so-
scenario, like they probably won't leave if we ask nicely. But if even a few of them show up, we can at least learn something.
It's much easier to destroy something once you've come to understand it.
Mm-hmm. Also, although I don't have the same kind of gifts Elias has, I can be kind of persuasive if I really want to be.
Good to know.
My true gift is my journey of enlightenment. I can share that with you,
I
Skull.
swear, Elias.
Okay, maybe not right now. Maybe we save that for another moment, Elias. Violet,
What?
what do you know about this, about the Ventru Primogen and maybe why he'd want these anarchs in particular to be cleared out? I mean, I know there's a whole thing, Camarilla anarchs, right? But is there a reason why he'd want these in particular cleared out? Are they up to something that he's worried about?
Are we telling my roll for that?
Not at this point.
Okay. No.
Great, no, wonderful. That is excellent.
Dave works in mysterious ways.
You hear Marceline like under her breath, "Fucking Dave."
I can research, if you prefer, before we go.
That would also be useful.
Mm-hmm.
I could assist in any way and quite adept at research.
Right, okay, so I think that might be our best bet. Let's do some research first, find out what we're going up against. The more information we get, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can always come back and, depending on what we find, maybe kill some anarchs. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we'll either kill them, we'll either destroy them tonight, or we can or we can lay the groundwork to destroy them more easily another night. You know?
Right. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Is there, storyteller, because I have met with the family here, is there a contact that maybe I would have at this point that maybe as the others are doing their research, I can maybe reach out to them and see if I get any information? Like send
Do
a
you
quick
have any
message or something?
dots in Mauler or allies or contacts? Well, Mauler or
Oh.
allies for the family.
What's
Okay,
that
let's
first
see.
word you're saying?
Mauler.
Mawla, Mawla, mentor.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
Hmm. What's cousin's ear? Because I do have a dot in that, but I don't remember what that is.
Just have an ear.
Which bloodline are you from? Yeah.
Gio-
Which bloodline are you?
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
It'll be off of that. It'll be off of that bloodline sheet. Which means it'll be in Cult of the Blood.
Well, give me a few weeks and I might be able to grow you another ear.
No, I think this ear will do me just fine. Thank you. Is it canon now? Am I walking around with just an ear? Little ear hanging off my belt, you know?
Once per session, you can ask a direct question of another member of the Giovanni family and get a straight answer. However, you have to answer a question in return. You can also ask a favour of multiple members of the family once per story, or if you had the allies' background of 3 dots.
Okay, yeah. So I will use that to just get a little information about these anarchs. Both like in downloading them on what has been asked of me, and then present the question of would you know any information about these this particular group?
I mean, it'd be a phone call probably, and
Yeah.
one of the family picks it up. After you've relayed the information about the warehouse, he'll say, well, we don't know specifics. We do know that recently many Anarch kindred have gone missing. No one's bothered checking into it because who gives a fuck about Anarchs?
Right.
Why do you want to know this?
The Venture Primogen has sent out a Tremere fellow by the name of Dave. He didn't really give me much more, but said that could clear out this warehouse full of anarchs for him. And then
We know Dave, he's good people.
right, well, if I had a little more information on him, I wouldn't have been so suspect. But regardless, he said that once this anarch group was removed, that we could bring the information to the Venture Primogen. Now, normally I would think it's a matter of just gaining favor, but I do find myself wondering about that information I told you previously. And I am referencing the photos that I had shown them and all that stuff. It does make me worry as if they're trying to have us be some sort of cleanup crew for whatever they're getting up to.
And this is a surprise to you?
No, not at all. I just needed the information before I step in. I know we have our plans and the way that we do things. I want to make sure that I'm still stepping in line with that.
If Anarch kindred are going missing, then we can see no issue with you putting a stop to that. As is, a warehouse is hardly the most valuable of properties in Japan. Do what you will.
All right then. Thank you very much. With that, she'll hang up and then go back to being with the coterie, doing whatever they're doing. Actually, that's a lie. She's gonna go to her. I imagine we all kind of went back to the Haven before doing what we're gonna do, so they could research. And she's gonna just re-up on her weapons and make sure everything is still functioning and nice and neat and clean, ready to go.
While you're in the haven as well, it will suddenly come back to you, plot memory, that you also need to visit Chiba Minato Park.
Okay.
That's to follow up with Sakura's missing mortal, which would probably be fairly
Right.
important to Violet.
Right. Okay, so I'm assuming they're like researching or whatever, and I'm going to come down the stairs and I'm looking at Violet, but very openly saying, after we figure out what we need to about this mess, I think maybe before we handle that, we should go to Chiba Minato Park. We have to find out what happened to Sakura's missing pet.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start there with the job that we've already accepted before we take on this new one.
Yeah, I think that will be our best bet. But what did you guys find in your research? Anything interesting? I guess not. I guess not.
I don't know if we've.
Yeah. I was going to assist Violet with the research because I feel like the street info type stuff we need to find for that is more her strong suit than mine. I just literally have a specialty in research, so.
Solomon, if you're still busy with research, I understand, but if you have some time to spare before we head out, I could try to heal you.
I would much appreciate that, yes.
You're going to do the aggravated heal.
I'm going to attempt. I'll spend the
I
rest
don't
of the
think
scene
you have the
doing-
time for that,
Oh, okay, no time? Okay.
because this scene's already pretty close to an end.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Actually,
I'd like to
quick
use my
question,
dots
sorry,
in
Paula.
criminal contacts to try and call research. F3.
And to assist, I will get the corkboard out, along with the push pins and strings.
Yes, always necessary.
Yeah.
You will just hear back from the criminal contacts that people are missing. Strange people. And it doesn't take a genius to work out that these are kindred anarchs that are just being picked up, go missing. No one seems to know what happens to them after.
Oh. I ask them how they are as well, just to.
Be polite.
Yeah. And do they know
All right.
Dave?
Not doing bad. Oh, Dave! Dave's great. We love Dave.
I think I might kill Dave. Right.
No.
I will say my
Elias,
contacts.
where did all the string go? Did you make it out together?
Oh, did you meet famous Dave earlier?
Oh Jesus. Okay, we will put a pin in that for sure.
No, I
my-
have the pins too.
Oh, delightful. So a shopping trip at some point needs to be done. Okay. My contacts also told me that these anarchs seem to be going missing. With what we learned about, I believe it was Thin Bloods as well, yes, but Kindred are going missing. And given what we faced in the other park that we went to, we might be in for a fight once we're at the park. But I do feel that this is a bit of a cleanup, having outsiders do the cleanup for whatever mess this particular venture might be involved in. And the Tremere, which means Dave. As you can tell, I don't like Dave. I'm not a fan.
That's normal.
Seems rather helpful. More helpful
No.
than any other Chimby I've met so far. At least here
All
in
right,
this.
that's fair. That's fair. I'll give that to Dave. He has been far more helpful than the others. I'll give Dave some points in that regard. Right. Cool. I had a thought about right. Okay, so going to this part, Violet Skull, since y'all have been here longer than us, have you heard of any strange things in the park? Like last time we faced I don't remember what it was called, but woman's head, snake body, carries around a baby. Anything like that in Chiba?
I know my research was more on Yurei than yokai, but would I know anything as well?
It's a park. Kindred don't often go to parks because you don't know what the
Fucking
fuck you're gonna find.
The only park I've ever known was full of werewolves, so I stayed far away from it. I
Killed a
imagine.
werewolf once.
Did you? It's a rare feat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. With my cricket bat.
Exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a
Excellent.
rare feat, it's rare paw.
I did give Violet her cricket bat back, so she does have that in her hand.
Park's a very nice, tranquil place. It's good to sit at a park, watch the stars. It can be very calm.
That has not been my experience, Elias, but I'm going to take your word for it. Right, so let's head there. Maybe deal with that
Skull-
issue first, and then get back
Skull's
to the Xanax.
experience would know that you've got to catch the bus, to catch a train, to catch a monorail, to get to the park. And the park is on the coast.
Ooh. Can't we just drive?
I mean, while the answer is technically yes, like, at location like that, it's almost more suspicious to drive.
I think also his car can't fit us all.
There is also that, like, it's meant for two. If the two people in the passenger seat are, it's like it can do three if the two people in the passenger seat are relatively small.
Mm. Do we have a contact still for that driver that helped us out to the princess?
Not on this short notice, no.
What good is he? All right.
Do you mean he's
Just
not
kidding, I love
waiting
you,
in the
Bonnie.
wings? Waiting.
Just kidding, I love you, Polly. Okay, anyway. Right, let's go catch a bus and then a train and then whatever else we need to get to this damn park.
Fun fact for you, the Chiba monorail is the longest monorail in the world, apparently.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Kindred make their journey
The more
from the
you know.
bus station to Taikani Kodan and make the long journey to Chiba main station, with Skull leading the way to Chiba city's monorail. They make their way up
While
the
on-
steep Yeah.
Just as a note, while on the monorail, if there's no conversation happening, Skull will just have Daunt up, so that regular ass kind don't have any pretensions of even wanting to come check out what's going on.
Fair.
Yeah. That'll be good.
They make their way up the steep concrete steps onto the elevated platform and board the small monorail train that heads out, making its way across the dangerously elevated rail over the dense streets below. And as you sit together on the cramped, narrow monorail train, Marcelina, you narrowly averted committing diablerie earlier. What are you feeling
Yeah.
right now?
I wish I committed diablerie earlier. That might have proven useful to me, but that's all right. Besides that minor scare, I think more than anything, she's upset that she lost control in front of her coterie mates. At least the two of them. Um, she does pride herself on keeping her shit under control. But other than that, she's very focused on this whole Anarch business and um, her and her coterie being used to sort of clean up a mess. Well, she's accustomed to cleaning up messes, but this she has so little information about what's going on that she's concerned.
Elias, being rushed around Japan, and now you're on your way to, hopefully, a peaceful, serene, green area in the middle of Chiba City. It's not the middle. What are you thinking and feeling right now?
Well, after all this rushing around, I think Elias is looking forward to some peace and tranquility.
But
He's not gonna get it. I know that.
Violet, you helped a colleague of yours from committing perhaps the most heinous crime one can commit under the Camarilla. Although she is not a member of the Camarilla herself, it would have brought great consequences for you and your entire coterie. And right now, you're checking further into a captured Toreador's pet, as Elias is chuckling very heartily to himself. What are your thoughts and feelings right now?
Violet is thinking, oh god, she's been given over to a bunch of very young kindred that don't know what they're doing. And she's thinking about Dave. Purely because of his clan. But it makes her sad a little. Because all the young kindred, she wants an older kindred to talk to.
A skull! You've had an interesting night so far. Your fight club, probably not undefeated champion, but perhaps one of the stronger fighters, was easily defeated, and his soul nearly consumed by your guest. What are your thoughts and feelings right now?
Couldn't give a shit about the fact he was defeated. Honestly, I can make more money, but it's like booking him on a chase back to the top. It's like on a chase back to the top spot, like.
That's fair.
Plus, he might be, he might be worth a bit more now because now that he's taken a loss, like people might want to. It's like, yeah, I might make a bit more money. People trying to, say, oh no, he's definitely going to lose again this time. Because I mean, I'm the house. I'm always gonna win anyway. Yep. And much more concerned about how the fuck did Violet follow me? That's not fucking cool. That was not cash money. Anyway. Also not very excited about the fact that I almost lost the car to diablerie. Like, shit. Like, Actually, but the more I think about that, the more Skull realizes that it's not so much that he's upset that Carr was almost diablerized, it's that he was almost diablerized by not Skull.
Fair. Solomon!
So,
Making your way towards Chiba Minato Park. Hopefully going to get some more answers on these missing mortals that you've uncovered slowly since arriving in Japan. What are your thoughts and feelings right now?
Well, for the last 3 weeks, Solomon's been pretty hungry. And it's less so that he really needs the specific type of food. It's just that's really his only option because he doesn't have the strength or fortitude to just grab somebody off the street and satiate his hunger. And on the other hand, he doesn't have one. But also, when he left the Prince's Haven this evening to join up with the coterie, he realized that the vibe was off. He definitely didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't do something right, and he's not quite sure why. So the last thing he wants to do is get offed by a bunch of anarchs tonight. So he's a bit nervous, for both sides of the masquerade at the moment.
Knowing Solomon, it was probably something like not taking his shoes off.
Probably. Yeah, bowing at 45 degrees instead of whatever other, yeah.
As you sit together on the cramped, narrow monorail train, is there anything you'd like to talk about as the modern city of Chiba slowly passes by the elevated windows?
You know, Violet,
Yeah?
apologies for not bringing this up last week, but I couldn't help but put my finger on why something about you felt familiar. I believe we've been acquainted back in Oxford, no?
Mm,
It may have just
I was-
been brief.
I wasn't in Oxford too long. Maybe just before.
Maybe. Been quite some time, though.
Did you come to the Cuddle Puddle?
Is that the place on the corner, like, that everybody goes to, usually on the weekends?
Oh, it's where all the Nosferatu sleep in the sewers.
Oh,
Did
then
you
no,
join
I
the
don't-
puddle?
I don't believe so, no. We are thinking about two different things.
I thought I recognized you.
You were
I
cuddle
remember that
puddling.
night.
You were cuddle puddling with the Nosferatu, Solomon.
Well, I mean, they are the keeper of secrets. Sometimes it's fun to overhear some.
Oh, so you weren't in the cuddle puddle. You were just nearby, is what you're trying to say.
Well, it's easier to hear them when you're in the pile.
Right. No, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify. That's wonderful.
Okay.
She's like kind of giggling to herself, like, you know what I mean? Because she's imagining Solomon cuddling up with a bunch of Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Secrets,
Right.
that's what they're called these days.
Hot damn, Saul, didn't realize you had that in you.
Right. A
Well,
player.
Well, he didn't after.
every young kindred has to have their own way of starting out in the world, and I figured the best place to start was the Nosferatu. They know their stuff. Make friends there, can make friends anywhere.
Right. No, you are absolutely correct. Cuddle puddling. That is incredible.
But-
Definitely taking little teases at Solomon.
Aside from that, how have you been, Violet, since I've seen you? It's been quite some time. I hardly recognized you.
No, since I last saw you, I think. But it's very nice to see you too. Did you find what you were looking for?
No, not yet. It's kind of why I'm here.
Well, I'd be happy to assist.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Not that there's much to puddle cuddle in this area. Not a lot of Nosferatu, I'm afraid.
Really?
Mm.
Strange. I can't picture any version of a Camarilla functioning with little to no Nosferatu.
That's what
Not
I've
as many-
been saying.
Not as many places to hide for them here.
Oh, we can hide in all sorts of places. Silly.
That's true, but not as many of the traditional places. Sewers are a lot harder to come.
I guess.
Also, we don't normally have to share territory with the Gaki.
That's true. Or all manners of creepy crawlies.
Speaking of the Gaki, I am deeply concerned about this little war that they're on both sides are trying to spark. Y'all ain't nervous about that? And then a Tremere pulls up to us and asks us to clear out an Anarch warehouse. I mean, is that normal? Is that how they do things here?
Well, I suppose we can verify that it is indeed an Anarch warehouse and not a Gaki warehouse.
That's a good start. Yes, that's a very good start. Because I'm not aware of I don't think I've ever met Dave the Dave Daveson before.
I think he goes by Famous Dave.
All right. What I'm hearing is I'm gonna have to kill Dave. That's what I keep sensing from y'all is that you want me to eliminate him. I understand.
I mean,
You're gonna have to
look,
get rid of Dave.
if we're going to do that, like we're I want in because like
Oh, I mean, usually I prefer to work alone in special cases, but you know what? I would love to have you there.
yes,
Yes.
please, because like his presence in my club felt about as welcome as sepsis.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also a weird thing that he's apparently the way he spoke, it was as if he's been there before.
Yeah,
As if
and I
he's been
don't
watching.
like that.
Right, right. So, have you ever just, done a quick scan of the people in your club?
I mean, normally I'm pretty busy making sure people aren't trying to scam me in my.
That's fair. That's fair. That is definitely fair. I just, I worry where these eyes are able to come in and watch you. It
look,
sounded like
I don't like the fact that you, pointing at Violet, found it, but at the end of the night, I'll get over it. You're Nosferatu.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I'll get over it. I'll get over that.
hmm,
You should.
it's just
I do
it
appreciate
is
the air of suspicion, Marcelina. I don't believe that your feelings of warring factions and calling us to investigate something weird is out of the ordinary for kindred and our society, but I'm glad that you are going in with a little bit of a question in your head.
Yeah. Is it out of the
Yeah.
ordinary? No. Should it make you feel suspicious anyway? Yes.
no very. I especially that he was Tremere. I just
We
it
are
seems
the
such an out of
on the
place. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's true. Yes, you're right. You're right. Maybe that's what drew him there. I just the way he spoke is as if he goes there often. I don't know if maybe he's a eyes and ears for this venture again. Tremere doing stuff for Ventru. It seems odd. No, seems a little off. I mean, we're not going to get any answers here on the train, but I just figure I share that with you all.
Well, I never trust the Tremere. The Tremere, they always scheme and they're apt to commit genocide. It's never anything good with the Tremere.
Elias, I don't think I've ever seen you show such disdain for another person before.
Well, I
You didn't. It was
typically
Tremere, not a person.
Precisely. I typically, I live my life by the belief that you should always love your neighbors like you love yourself. So I love and respect everyone. But I don't consider Tremere people.
God. Well, and I thought
There is
I
a
was
moment of like, yeah, there is a moment
really?
of like my brows go up when he says that because it's like the most hostile we've ever seen Elias. Immediately like, oh, true. Okay.
I'm
Well,
just
we
gonna
are all in
brush my
battle.
jacket off, and I thought I was being harsh.
Yes, well, I think maybe, as understandable as that is for our dear Elias to feel that way about the Tremere, maybe we keep that opinion on the down low between us. Maybe I don't think it'll serve you any favors, Elias. Um, but I didn't know that you had that in you. However, it's good to see. And there's definitely like little corruption twinkle in her eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there it is.
How's Violet reacting to hearing Elias say that?
Beat me to it.
She's clenching her fists and clicking low in her in her chest, but she's not looking up.
Yeah, no, maybe we definitely keep that to ourselves. Marcelina says while kind of
Yeah,
like
like-
eyeing Violet.
Like, am I
Yeah.
terribly upset at this opinion? Nah. Should you maybe keep that about as on the down low as you should be keeping, the, the creator of your ideology? Yes.
As that's happening, Marcelina will put a hand on Violet's fist. Almost as if she's like covering it, but also like offering some kind of like comfort. Justin obviously doesn't know why she seems so irritated, but is trying to like comfort her, almost like in return for Violet's earlier help.
The clicking gets a little bit quieter, but it's still there.
You all right, darling?
I will be.
Right. Let's try to stay out of trouble then. I'll get him to stop talking about whatever it is that upsets you, and you don't take anyone's head off, yeah? Good.
Just nods.
I will definitely give like pointed glare at Elias, like if you don't shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. I suppose I should learn to forgive and forget. It's just difficult when they try to genocide your entire clan.
That's right. How long left do we have on this passage? And she's gonna look at her imaginary watch, to try to ease the tension.
Yeah,
The electric-
I think it's about time for us to get off the train.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
electric
yeah.
monorail comes to a halt at their station, and the Kotri step out onto the wide streets of Chiba City. Surrounded by imposing, tall, modern buildings reaching up for the sky, across the road is Chiba Minato Park. Eerily quiet, and the large buildings yielding their space to the isolated large green area. The Coven of Kindred make their way cautiously into the park, an area obscured from general sight by the large hedge that runs across its borders. Before you progress further in, are there any disciplines you wish to use?
Bless your life.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
I wanted to ask you, Storyteller, really quick before we move on. When I drained Car here, did that help me at all with my health situation?
No.
Like, did it heal me?
Nope.
No? Alright.
Healing's
Okay.
done through rouse checks,
Oh,
You
I see.
can-
Okay.
and you can
you can
only
rouse
heal
the
aggravated at the start of the game.
Alright. And
Like-
is that the same for willpower?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, my
Okay.
fault.
You can get
Go ahead,
willpower
go.
back during the game by doing a very nice playthrough of a compulsion. At my discretion.
Okay. Alright.
Violet, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, it was my fault. I was reading and then I blurted. Sorry. Can I unseen passage, please?
Rouse check for me, please.
Beep.
Getting hungry.
No, don't want to do that. Oh, God, blimey.
Just as a reminder as
Okay.
well, depending on your blood potency, you can re-roll certain level rousers.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
Interesting.
I could nibble on something while we're in the park.
Alright then.
All right.
I believe I need to do anything, but I will activate the Eyes of the Beast, I think is it called?
That one
Yeah,
you can
Eyes of
see
the
in the
Beast.
dark.
I can see in the dark, yeah.
It's also a walking masquerade breach.
Well, when I can
I'm
activate
just
it
warning
in the-
you, so you are in the know.
Okay.
That's all. Anyone
If
else?
anybody asks, my eyes are bloodshot because
No, it's a masquerade bleach because your eyes are glowing.
I thought they were just red.
No,
I mean, like unnaturally red, but
Sunglasses?
that's true. I could wear my sunglasses at night.
Looks super cool.
Edgy. I would like to use my Philippian sight. You know, because just in case.
That's free.
Okay. Amazing.
Make your way slowly through the park's path that guides you deeper into its grounds, the dirt and pebbles crunching in the night as you hear, coming into earshot, the wails of a woman sobbing softly. And at this point, we'll take a break. I can't see shit. We'll be right back. their way into Chiba Minato Park. As they make their way slowly through the park's path that guides them deeper into its grounds, the dirt and pebbles crunching in the night, they hear coming into earshot the wails of a woman, sobbing softly into the night. What would you like to do?
Whatever
No.
you do not interact with her.
No, we're going to ignore her. We've done this before, so absolutely not.
But she
Skull-
may need help.
No.
Look,
She also
no,
may have
no.
a bone saw.
Okay, tell you what. Elias, you and I will go take a look. I will be the one to talk.
Do you remember what
If
happened
it's someone
last
who
time?
if it's someone who actually needs help, then I'll step back and let you do things, okay?
This is a terrible idea.
I mean, I'm fine with us going, Skull, but are you sure you don't want me to talk? I tend to be more empathetic.
Elias, you
I would
remember
be
last time we
insulted
stepped on?
if I wasn't aware of what your clan was.
Listen, okay, last time we dealt with a crying woman. She turned around and she had a fucking bone saw and almost killed everybody. Maybe we leave the crying woman alone. Maybe, possibly, is that something that we can do?
No. Like, look, I'm ready for it this time, if it's that thing.
Okay,
just-
you know what?
I'm not going to stand by and ignore someone who may need help.
Yeah. And which is why I'm prepared for if it's that thing.
Fine.
Elias would go and approach the crying woman.
No, it's he'll approach, and Skull will be like, I said I talk first. I said,
The seemingly young woman is perched on a short outcrop of stone that runs along the path and marks the border of a raised flower bed inside its grounds. Besides the woman's feet is a small puddle of blood, and the woman's sobs have saturated her face mask.
Skull puts a hand in one of his pockets. And then, can I help you?
She'll look up at you and be like, "Can you? I've been robbed."
Who robbed you?
I don't know who they were. But it only just happened and they ran off that way. They took my purse, and it has all my belongings in it, like my money and phone and whatever else is totally normal for a woman to have in her purse. I don't know, I don't go rummaging.
Chapstick.
Chapstick.
Yeah.
Tampons. You never know. Can of Power Thirst.
Skull will move his head around to back to behind Elias. It will push him forward a bit. I think he's the one who's going to be able to help you just a little bit.
Take any help I can get, thank you. Would you help me, sir? She's speaking Japanese, by the way. This is perfect Japanese.
Yeah.
In case you can't tell.
So in Japanese, I would reply, yes, I'd be happy to help you. Do you know about how long ago you were robbed? Do you think I can catch them if I hurry?
Couldn't have been longer than 5 minutes ago, and they just went out of the park that way, and she'll point to one of the sort of entrance exits on the edge of the hedge.
Okay. Is there anything you need before we go after them?
Just want my stuff back.
I'll see what I can do, and I'll head in the direction she pointed to see if I can find her.
Elias. Hold on. Elias. You look at, ma'am. It has been 5 minutes. We can't make any promises.
Just you trying is good enough for me.
This is a shit pool. Actually, is it even worth me trying to roll it? No, it is not worth me trying to roll a single die for wits and insight.
I have a good roll for wits and insight, but I'm a trustworthy guy.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Oh, sorry, a trusting guy. I'm a
There
guy.
you go.
You could always just let Elias go off on his own, and the rest of the coterie doesn't need to be distracted by mortal endeavours.
Do I have any convictions that have a problem with this idea? Nope, none of them do. Elias, you got my number?
I will pull out my phone and verify that I have the correct number. I think it's right. Yes, I have your number.
Just send me the letter H if you need help. Okay?
And what should I send you if everything is fine?
The letter K.
How about F for fine?
You know what? Sure. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Okay. Now hurry before they get too far.
There's just this look of absolute judgment on Violet's face right now.
Yeah.
Gonna die. Great, wonderful, love this. So good. While they're off doing that, what are we looking at?
Skull will end up wandering back but to the rest of the group after this. So, yeah, you can go back to them.
What do we see within the park?
At the moment,
I used Oblivion sight.
I know. Don't you worry now. I got you covered. You're all right. I got these little notes that tell me what you've done. You're all right. Right now, you're just on this dirt path that's surrounded by hedges. You're unable to really see any further into the park itself. You've just got the entrance that you came in from behind you, the entrance or exit that Elias is boldly going through right now, and the path just carries on around the side.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess let's get moving. Let's see what we find in here.
The rest of the coterie
Yeah.
proceed onwards beyond the sobbing woman, making their way along the pebbled path. The occasional cold breeze chills their skin as the icy bite washes over them. The path winds around the tree and flower-filled park as the kindred follow the track into the park. Marcelina's eyes, black as shadow, begin to see the unmistakable aura coming into her field of vision, of spirits, dozens of them, all of them bearing heavy slashing wounds on their neck. Does anyone have sense the unseen, by the way, that isn't Elias? Okay.
Right. So, she like stops for a moment before like really getting into the park and says to the coterie, "There's a whole lot of ghosts roaming around. They all have similar wounds, slash in the throat. We definitely need to trudge carefully. Is there anything else I notice about the ghosts other than the slices? Like, can I see their faces?
You can see their faces, and they all seem lost and confused.
Okay. They're lost. Okay.
They don't seem hostile in any way to you. They don't seem to be... They're just these lost, wandering spirits.
Right. As we're walking through, I do want to keep an eye out for Sakura's pet, for her man, if I see his face among the spirits.
You do not.
Okay. All
And
right.
the
Well,
path just keeps
I'll
winding
keep
around
pushing on.
and winding around and winding around, and you realise that you are literally walking in a circle. No matter which direction you go, you always wind up back at the same spot.
That's strange. As we were walking in this giant circle, we didn't see any, like, I guess, buildings or things of note.
Just these ghosts, that's
Why
pretty
would they-
noteworthy.
Right, other than the ghosts, I mean. Right, okay. Any ideas, folks?
Well,
Where's Elias?
It
Skull,
was an
you came
actual-
back without...
I did. Yes.
Uh-huh.
It was an actual woman. You know.
Okay. And what happened?
She was robbed, and you know how Elias gets when people actually need help.
Right.
If
Okay.
if he ends up needing help, he'll message.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah.
the woman was mugged.
Hmm.
Most of us don't really bother with mugging.
So maybe kind.
I suspect it was Kine, and if it's Kine, he was able to make a Guk defend him.
Okay.
You know,
Right, so he
that's-
should be okay.
That's what I'm suspecting.
Okay.
While using our unseen passage, Violet will go off in the direction where he was and start trying to find him.
You attempt to,
Like, nope.
you attempt to backtrack on your path, but no matter how many different tries you attempt, you always end up reunited with the coterie, back where you started.
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh, what's
Can we
uh-oh?
hear her when she says uh-oh?
Yeah.
She's currently invisible. Can we hear her?
Hear this tiny disembodied voice. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Violet. What's uh-oh?
Comes back into view. I can't go find him. It won't let me.
Oh,
What won't
Great.
let you?
Park?
Well,
Okay.
shit.
yep. Ghosts, they all look lost. They're fucking stuck here. They're all stuck here, and so are we. Delightful. Okay. Shit. I don't know what to do. Okay.
I'll flash back to Elias then, so you can all have some thinking time.
Thank you very much.
Elias makes his exit of the park, walking onto the relatively quiet streets of Chiba. Across the road, in a small circle, are three men in business suits, standing under a streetlight. A woman's handbag on the floor in the middle of them, as one of them holds a mobile phone as the other two are trying to give instructions to the man holding it. They seem almost jovial in their body language, as their voices echo into Elias's ears. What would you like to do?
I will approach them, and I will say, "Excuse me, but I think you need to return that handbag." Oh, sorry. Excuse me, I think you need to return that handbag.
I think you need to mind your own fucking business.
No, I'm sorry. There's a person who's in distress, and I intend to help them. So, the easiest
Who's
way
in
would be for you to
distress?
the woman you stole that bag from.
Oh, you mean the woman that's blackmailing us?
Excuse me?
Are you fucking deaf as well as foreign?
What is this blackmail about?
Blackmail, you know, when someone tries to get their own way by holding information on another person.
And you expect me to believe that woman is blackmailing you?
Don't care if you do or don't. She is.
Do you have any evidence?
No, but she does, and that's what we're trying to get. Are you thick, blind, and foreign? I'm so sorry, Noscavian.
Luckily, I am not blind. But
Just thick.
I'll take a look at that bag. Thank you.
Fuck off.
I will use mesmerize to say, "Give me the bag."
Okay. One of them will reach down and start to hand over the bag. The other two will stop him. And they will get into an argument. And you'll understand that, you know, they're saying in Japanese, you know, you can't just give this back. We need to get these fucking pictures or she's going to keep doing this.
Listen, if you need help, perhaps I can help. I want to
How are you
find
going to
out
help?
what
You're
is
going to be
going.
able to bring back the two guys who've already killed themselves over this.
I certainly don't want anyone to die. If
It's
I
a bit
can
late
find
for
out,
that, isn't it? And here you come charging in like a fucking feminist.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this situation. If I can find out who and why this blackmail is going on, if she really is preying on you, then I need to find that out, and then perhaps I can stop her from blackmailing.
How about you just leave us to this? This guy is still trying to hand you this handbag as he's being restrained by the other two.
Can I walk up closer and take the bag if he's trying to hand it to me?
You would have to do a contested roll with 3 mortals. Well, 2 mortals, sorry. But
So
yes, you could.
yeah. Do you or do you not want help? If you're saying people have died over this, then surely you'd want into all this, correct?
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to get rid of these pictures that she has on us all.
And how do you know these are the only pictures she has? What if she has more?
Who knows? But we do know that she has them on her phone. If we can at least get rid of them there, it's going to make things a lot harder for her.
Well, why don't you explain to me what's going on? If you are the victim, then perhaps I can make her forget about the
Why are
blackmail.
you going to take her word over us 3? Do
I'm
you
taking
know her?
no.
Well, you're standing there telling us we're in the wrong, demanding that we prove it. What's she done to prove that she's innocent?
Well, it appeared she had been mugged, and she was missing her handbag. And you 3 have her hand. So
Yeah,
it
we
looks
had to
rather.
take it. But we didn't use violence.
And I don't wish to use violence either. I'm just trying to find out what's
Are
going
you
on.
threatening us? Are you threatening me?
I want to use mesmerize on one of them to have them explain to me why and how you're being blackmailed.
Okay, roll mesmerize for me, please.
Mhm.
That's a rouse check, and I need you to do the actual roll because he is not willing to do it.
Yep. Okay, I'll add that hunger after I roll it.
Yep. Oh, well then. What was the question?
How and why are they being black?
This woman came into the office 2 months ago. She gets really flirty with absolutely any and everyone she can, and then she asks for nudes in return, which of course she gets. Then she holds them to ransom and says that she will release them on the internet to their families if they don't keep paying her. So far, 2 guys from the office have actually killed themselves over this, and she is just carrying on as per normal. I can tell you we didn't do anything but snatch her handbag, but it seems like she's applied her own sense of violence to try and tug on your heartstrings.
I see, so 2 people from the office have already killed themselves over this. That's quite horrific.
And the other 2, by the way, they're just staring at this office work like, dude!
Let's see here. And you said the blackmail is on her phone?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I see. Well, then,
Meanwhile, to let you come up with a solution.
yeah.
What are the rest of the coterie doing in the park surrounded by ghosts?
Right. Would I, given my clan, I don't know if I would have to roll for this or whatever, but would I know of rituals that would help, or like, I don't know, rituals is the only word I can think of right now, but would I know of anything that could help spirits move on?
You definitely have knowledge of it.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that you would know that if you can see them, you can talk to them. The only reason that generally anyone doesn't communicate with any kind of spirit is you can't see them.
Right. And are they a type, like, are they all male? Are they mixed bag?
Mixed.
Is there
Mixed
children?
bag.
Okay.
No children. All adults.
All adults.
Women.
Okay. Okay.
All Japanese.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on now. Let me. Right. Okay. I'll go to the nearest one. Preferably a female, and I will say, "Hello. Are you all right? You look a little
Ghosts.
lost."
The spirit just stops in its tracks and looks at you almost shocked as Marcelina speaks to her. Her tear-stained face stares into your own eyes, and she just says, "What is this place? Why does it look so dead?"
Oh, well, darling, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not quite alive yourself.
I see ruins,
What's the...
dead trees, mist, buildings destroyed.
When I look around, as she's, like, describing this, I'm assuming the buildings and the trees and all that stuff look very much alive to me. Yeah. Okay. From the knowledge that I have, does it sound to me as if she's, like, just seeing kind of a wasteland given her current state, or is there, like, a, I don't know, vision or...
Roll intelligence and insight for me, please.
Okay.
This isn't a very difficult roll.
Okay.
Now, especially considering her clan, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. You'll know from your talks with other members of the family that are more specialized in this kind of thing. She is describing to you the Shadowlands.
Okay. Right. Right now, dear, you're in a place that we affectionately refer to as the Shadowlands. A sort of in-between space, given your current state. It looks like you're a little stuck at the moment.
I don't like it. I want to go home.
I know, darling, I know. It really is a shame. Could you maybe tell me, can you remember what happened to you? The very last moments.
And she'll sort of look glass-eyed away. I was taken. I was with my lover. There was a small place in the center of the park. We were held there, separated. I was told I wasn't wanted, and then I felt cold across my neck, and she looks to the side, drifts off slightly into the distance in thought. I can tell you how to get to the
Right.
center.
That would be much appreciated. Maybe I could find out what happened to your lover. Maybe I can help you out of this place that you're in now.
She'll just sort of be staring at you. You'll notice that her right arm goes up and sort of pointing over to one side. And somewhere that was previously obscured by dense foliage reveals a path that splits off and leads on into the darkness, where you can see a small building, relatively tall, just standing on its own, off in the distance.
Right. I share the information with the coterie, letting them know that what happened to this woman in particular. And I think that maybe that's the story for most of the people here. Being led here and told they're not wanted, killed off. But this is the way to the center, the place she was brought to. And I'll kind of point out that path to the group.
Well, it's better than not having a direction at all.
Right, I think maybe we should someone should let Elias know. At least for him not to come here by himself and then get lost.
Skull will pull out his phone and check to see if he has reception.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, good. He'll send a message to Elias, letting them know. Is it letting him know that due to not follow the coterie until given the word otherwise?
This is on your smartphone, right?
Browse check.
Yes, please.
I get hungrier.
What? Well,
Feeling munchy to that right now. Feeling real munchy.
oh, okay.
Not to make
we'll
it
have to-
suspicious, but I'm just going to note that down in my notes.
If
for
you
future
do that-
reference.
Hyper suspicious. Let's go.
Yes, like Skull's skin gains most of its color back, as he punches in, do not follow the coterie. We are in a bit of a situation. Please do not follow the coterie in all caps. like,
Yeah.
it's like if you follow the coterie, all of us will be stuck. Let us
Yeah.
figure out how to get back to you. Send.
Meanwhile, with Elias.
Okay, I think I have a solution for our little problem. It's quite terrible that that you gentlemen are being blackmailed. Go ahead and give me the purse. You can hold on to the phone if you have the ability to delete the blackmail material. Then when you're done with it, leave it on the subway. Turn it into the subway lost and found. Otherwise, if you can't delete it, just keep a hold of it so that no one else can get the blackmail information. Okay? And I'll take the post.
Three of them will turn to each other and just sort of give these reluctant nods. The man will release a handbag from you and hand it straight over to you.
If the phone isn't there, I'll hand them the phone.
Oh, they're clutching onto that phone for dear life.
Okay. Then once I have the handbag, I will head back to the young lady.
And as you turn around and cross the road, you hear them drop the phone on the floor and continue to stamp on it over and over again.
Okay.
And Elias makes his way back into the park. God, where are you? There you are. And you find the crying woman still sat on the side of the stone enclosure. No longer crying anymore. And just eagerly waiting your return.
While I'm walking back, I will use my session use of Satisfy the Hunger to lower my hunger by 1.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And she'll
And
stand
then when
up as she sees you. Like, you got my purse. Did you get everything?
Yes, I have your purse and everything that was in it, and I go to hand it to her. And when I lock eyes with her, I will use the Forgetful Mind.
Go on. I know that's free. What are you going to implant? I think it's a rouse
actually,
check for the Forgetful
that
Mind.
is not
this
free,
is
that
a
is
rouse check. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to actually rouse the blood for this too.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I do good.
Roll the Forgetful Mind for me, please. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. And does she resist it, or?
I've made it a difficulty-based roll.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
you have 4 successes over the margin.
Mm-hmm. And basically, what I want to tell her is that she remember when she was running away from the muggers. She remembers her phone falling into the street and getting hit by a car. And also, I want to implant the idea that blackmail is repulsive and it's something she would never do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to let you do that.
Okay,
She's only
cool.
mortal. But don't go thinking
Cool.
you can do that on Kindred.
All right.
I'll let you do that just because she's mortal. And her eyes just glass over as she stares at you, just taking in the words as you say them. She clutches onto her purse, gives you a slight bow, runs off through the other way of the park that you came into. And you may have a humanity
Oh, thank you.
And then your own phone buzzes in your pocket. And you read the message from Skull.
I will reply to Skull. Thank you for the heads up. I will still steer clear. Everything is fine and happy here. And then I'll say, I'll tell him, good luck, have fun, abbreviated as HF, with a smile.
Want a little kiss on there too?
No, we'll stop short of it, guys. Just a smiley.
Back with the coterie. The path the rest of the coterie take leads them straight into what must be the centre, where they find a single, elegantly built tall building in the style of a white pagoda. A set of loose stone with concrete laid in between them, and steps lead up to a black door. The somewhat squat building has only 2 windows, both of which have been blocked by thick wooden shutters. What would you like to do?
Question, ST. Does anything about this building ring familiar to me in terms of the dossier that was given to me by the family?
Nope.
No. Okay. Okay.
It is Pagoda
Well,
Unknowna.
Okay. Are there any spirits near here, or are they kind of all just congregated in that one spot that was
They're
behind
all
us?
behind you.
Okay. Right. Shit. Right. Okay. I'd like to kind of peek about and see if I can see any, I don't know, any hints of people recently traveling through here. If that makes sense. Like, do I see a layer of
that's
dust?
going to be an
or do I-
automatic success, and loads of traces of people. It's a park.
Okay.
Loads
No.
of
I
traces.
meant. Okay. Sorry. So, for example, how I should have worded that better. Forgive me. How the woman's story that she says she was brought there, and then when they said they didn't want her, they cut her throat. And that's the last thing she remembers. Is there like evidence of that, like blood staining the wood or anything like that?
Nope. Not from outside, no.
Okay. So within the okay. All right. So how do you guys want to approach this?
Would you like me to check it out first? I can sneak around.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. Holler if you need anything.
Do.
Violet walks off
Okay,
like a
so, yeah.
1922 Hammer horror movie.
Ah, obviously.
I think I hear Vincent Price narrating. What would you like to do as you're scurrying off?
Like just to literally just scope it out, just to see what I can see while I'm hiding. I'm not using my discipline because I'm a bit too hungry right now. So I'm just stealthing.
I'm going to give it to you for free, to be honest with you. And from what you can assess from the outside, the door is locked. It would appear to be the only real way in, unless anyone wanted to try and jump in through the window, smash the wooden blocks, and then whatever is on the inside is on the inside. It could be a sheer drop. There could be a floor there. Obviously, you can't tell that from the outside.
Instantly think there's no floor now. Yep.
Same.
Yep. Okay.
All
I
right.
go back and tell the others.
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
So,
I'm back
Skull
now.
will.
hey. Right. Any ideas?
Well,
We're
I
back
mean,
in it again.
He'll lift his shirt. He'll detach the brass knuckle off of his belt, so he's just got a leather strap hanging loosely, because
Mm.
the belt, the brass knuckles he uses as a belt buckle is now in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to pick the lock, or am I going to dive through a window?
Right. Let me pick the lock, and I'll go down and I'll pick the lock.
Dex Larceny, please.
Okay.
And the lock clicks silently under Marcelina's touch, opening the door for her. Heading in?
I'd like to take a peek in before fully walking in. Is there a floor? Can I
There is
tell
a
if there is a
floor.
floor? There's
Just-
indeed a floor. Wonderful.
From
We
just
are.
a quick peek in, I would assume you wouldn't open the door fully. You'd be able
No.
to see that the small crack reveals horticultural equipment, other various items related to park maintenance stored up inside.
So it's like a storage shed. Okay. With that, I'll stand up, pull out my gun just in case, and then slowly open the door. And try my best to when I enter in to kind of stick to the walls. You know what I mean? Not just rush right in.
Everyone else going in as well?
Skull will
Yes.
stick to the opposite wall.
Oh, well, let me tell you what you find inside first.
Okay.
The room inside the building, on initial impression, seems normal at first, but as the coterie casts their eyes around the scene, beyond the stack of shelves that have a collection of gardening tools on them, and various other horticultural equipment under a large side panel wall that allows the moonlight to creep inside, is a wide staircase that leads down below the building itself, with a closed door at the end.
Okay. Cool. Well, right. So it's just like maintenance things that are around the room itself, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then this
All right,
strange
then.
staircase leading into the bowels of the earth itself.
Don't like that. Can I use? Let me see really quick. Can I use heightened senses? I want to see if I can hear. I'll like stand at the edge of the stairs there and see if I can hear anything coming from below.
Wits and awareness for me, please. Your speciality in sight will not apply.
Okay, I have for heightened senses a wits and resolve. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Well, better than nothing.
Sticking with it, or would you like a reroll?
I don't have willpower to spend.
You have how much willpower do you have left?
None. I used
Oh.
them all at the.
Oh, you're incapacitated. That means minus
Wait,
2
what?
to all of your rolls.
I think you mean impaired.
It's
Oh,
getting-
I was like,
it's in
I'm
cap in the
sorry.
book. I don't know why it's
What?
getting incapacitated. I'm sure it's something like that.
No, fucking what, buddy? Okay.
Minus 2 to all
Alright,
of your
well.
rolls until you get some willpower back.
Okay. All right. Well, ain't nothing I can do about that then. So I can't hear shit. So what I will do then is I'll have like maybe in a pocket or whatever, like a quarter, some type of coin, and I want to give it a toss down the stairs to see if anything happens, like if there's any kind of weird ward or something, I've seen a lot of movies. Could be a trapdoor. I don't fucking know.
The coin just clinks down innocently enough to the bottom of the staircase, rolls around for a moment, and you just see it fall on its side.
Great. All right. Well, down I go.
I mean,
I'll creep
I can't
along.
see in the dark, but I can be, like, if I can sure as hell be a bit of a distraction if, we need to potentially draw out an ambush.
You might. What do you two think?
Skull will crouch down at the top of the stairs, and he'll soaring leap his dumb ass down the stairwell. He'll soar.
And you'll land fine.
Clear whole stairwells in a single bound.
Amazing.
And I
It's
have
only
3
minus
dots of
2
potent,
penalty,
so-
by the way, to social and mental tests.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, awareness is a mental test, so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Never had a character
with 3
deliberately burn through all their willpower before. I had to look it up. I'm sorry.
It's my bad. It's fine.
But yeah, like Skull will soaring leap, and he has 3 dots of potence, so he can go up to 15 meters horizontally.
No problem. You'll land very easily and gracefully, and even manage to keep yourself fairly silent, and find yourself at the bottom of the stairs, presented with a very large black iron door.
Shite.
Big metal door.
Oh, great. Is it locked?
I'll try the doorknob. Or
It is not locked.
What kind of handle is it? It is not locked.
Okay.
It
Well-
could be
Big metal.
did-
What? What was
You said
that?
you said a bunch of stuff, but
It could be warded. Don't just touch it.
I mean, I already touched it. It's unlocked.
Well, at this point,
Violet,
We just
dear,
gonna have to
warning
do
him is
what we
no
gotta
fun.
Pardon?
Warning him is no fun.
True. But okay.
I think
mean,
Violet's trying to keep us all alive.
I appreciate it, but like if it's warded, I freak out. Anything on the other side of the door gets murdered, and then I calm down. Everything will be happy. It's fine.
As long as you point it that way instead of this way.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. I'll
All right, let's get going then. I'm actually gonna stealth. I'm gonna stealth it. Like I want to be the last person down, and I want to stealth it, just in case.
Anyone else want to stealth it?
Yep.
Yeah. I was seeing how many dots I had in stealth, but I have 1.
Okay. Dex and stealth.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Although I haven't been rolling too good, y'all. So.
Yeah. I don't need to sneak down. I'm already down.
This is what I get.
Oh, I think I get a bonus if it's against Kindred.
It is not.
I forgot. Okay. All right. Well, then it's just that.
I've got Silence of Death. Does that mean I get bonus, or I'm just
That
fine?
means you can skip the roll entirely.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All in the hands.
Good.
All in the hands.
We'll learn to stealth from Violet.
Follow me.
It's like this. Everybody's like trying to be all crouching. He's like, no, like this. That's
Nah.
yeah. This way. This way.
Everyone, except Solomon, is able to successfully, quietly reach down to the bottom of the staircase. However, the handsome Solomon feels the pull of the beast inside of him. Solomon cannot use teamwork and performs any action that avoids establishing dominance or challenging authority at a 2 dice penalty to all of his pools. This compulsion ends when Solomon has won and gloated over it. You are suffering from the dominance compulsion.
You never pick the
Jesus.
ones I like having.
Well, paranoia, you're just going to turn around and go home.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kidding. Alright.
Sorry, that was just a... Alright, you fucking cunt.
No, that was an alright, how am I gonna do this?
Opening the closed door?
Now that everybody's down there,
Mm-hmm.
Skull will press himself back first against the door, turn the knob slowly, and he'll carefully back up and start with just a creak. Just a little bit. Tiniest of cracks.
My gun is definitely up and ready to like shoot if anyone tries to attack.
Are we going to be here all night and I'm just gonna go through the doorway?
The doors are opened.
Skull,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, Skull being leaning on the door. I'm just gonna say is because he has celerity, but he doesn't have cat's grace. So I'm just gonna say he falls over.
Shit. God damn it.
Back.
Well.
You find an extremely large area. 2 large cages are across the opposite side from the coterie. One of the large barred prisons has 3 people inside of it laying on their side, not moving. On one of the other red brick walls is a collection of heavy ropes and chains, most of them stained with aged blood, and sat in front of you are several men, their backs turned to you as they kneel in a traditional Japanese pose. You do not seem to have disturbed.
What the fuck?
Skull will slowly get back up. Are they staked? Like, how did I fall over and they not notice?
I would say, so Marceline's going to kind of draw a little bit closer. Not super close, but she's going to try to see if she can see if the 3 men specifically, if they're staked.
Dex and stealth for me, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
Fuck.
depending on what you roll, it might not matter anyway.
Okay.
Considering what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah. Christ.
Who did? Would you like to stick with it, or would you like a reroll?
Fuck me, God.
Oh, you got no willpower left. So what can I? What can? Yeah.
How can I? I'm fucked, dude.
I mean, you can go into aggravated willpower. That's a thing.
I'd rather not.
Then don't.
because
It's
that's
just an option.
Not fun to get back.
I just want to. I mean, just with my eyes, nothing special. I would like to see. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be too stealthy.
Unfortunately, Marcelina, despite her
Right.
best efforts to sneakily grow closer to the 4 Japanese men,
There's 4. Jesus.
alerts them to her presence, and all 4 of them stand up and turn around, confront you. What would you like to do?
I've got my gun pulled out and pointed at one of them.
Shit. I am going to wish that fucking Elias was here because he's the talker. Okay.
Skull will approach.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, like, How are you all doing tonight?
Are you saying this in English or Japanese?
Japanese.
Okay. Now I'll be like, what the hell are you doing in here? You are trespassing.
Trespassing on what? This is public property, as far as we're aware.
Park is public property. This area is not. What are you to have even gotten here at night?
What are you?
The one asking questions.
And we're the ones countering with other questions. Would you please alleviate our curiosity? What are you? What do you know about them?
We are servants. We serve the Yama Kings. And you?
Serves the Yama King.
Are they saying anything useful, or should I shoot one?
Definitely
No,
don't shoot
we
yet.
are-
Solomon,
not
real
shooting.
quick,
We are. We are not shooting.
So-
We are not shooting right now.
curious, Solomon. Have you ever heard of the Yama Kings? I am saying
doubt
this
it,
to.
Yeah, just in case, I doubt it. But Shiv, through any of the research, have I heard anything about that? Okay.
What is
I
that?
would Skull know anything about that? No.
That's closely guarded. Kwai Jin
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Would Violet know?
Yeah. I was gonna say like it's like
Dang it.
Yeah, like
Elias
Yeah.
might
Skull
have
just hears
actually
that-
known this.
yeah.
God!
That's funny.
Oh well. Yeah. Skull hears this and goes, "That sounds like Gaki."
Right. Okay.
But that is literally my best guess.
You see a bad word?
We.
One of them is
I mean-
keeping his hands firmly behind his back as he talks with you.
I am going to.
Raise
Raise my gun.
Look.
Real
Nope.
quick, the guy that has his arms behind his back, I'm gonna train my sights onto him. Arms forward,
Look.
please. We're trying to
Guys,
stay
guys. Look, why am I the one? Okay, he looks around. Looks at the company real quick. You know what? No, the fact that I'm the one trying to say let's try to talk it out right now actually makes sense right now. Okay, never mind. So,
All right. Listen.
so
Let's
okay,
make this-
everybody,
You
let's
tell
let's
us what
calm
you're doing.
down.
Listen. My patience is very thin. Non-existent, I would say. A lack of willpower. And so you tell me what y'all are doing here. And maybe, just maybe, if you say something I like, I'll let you keep going.
One of them steps forward. Are you threatening us in our own property?
No, we are not. Skull will look directly at Marcelina. We are not threatening them right now.
I am making an extremely kind suggestion. That's all.
That's it.
No threats. Just a
That's it.
suggestion.
Look, he will step almost completely between Marcelina and the guy.
You do
Look,
realize
look,
I'm the
let's-
one pointing a gun right now, right?
Yes, but he trusts the Zamisi to at least wait until there's an actual reason. Not,
Debatable.
yeah, not the person who has literally claimed that they are on an emotional hair trigger. So it's like, so let's start over. Let's start over. My name is Skull. It should be easy to remember.
Me, I'm a skull.
We We are dealing with a bit of an anomaly at the moment. One where we have walked into the area and we cannot leave. We came here hoping to find a way to leave. So the sooner we can find a way out of this area, the sooner you get what you want, us gone.
One of the men.
While he's saying all that,
Yeah.
so in the cages, you can see the bodies, right?
Mm-hmm. You can see 3
Okay,
people
and
laying
they're
on
not-
their side, not moving.
3. Okay. Just from plain view, can I see if they've been like beaten or hurt in any way, or if they're just kind of lying there, knocked out? Like, are they bleeding?
Do wits and awareness, and you can apply sight as a speciality for this.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
He won't help you now.
No, he most certainly will not.
Oh, that's -2 penalty as well, by the way.
It is, I know. So whatever I get, I just take away 2, right?
No, you're rolling 2 less dice.
Oh, that's my bad. Should I roll again?
No,
Not
that's
that I
right.
was
That
very
was a fail
successful,
anyway.
but- Yeah. Okay.
You'll be able to see that they are breathing, but that's about all. Violet,
Okay,
what about
wonderful.
you? What are you doing at this moment?
I'm trying to slowly, like, get a better advantage point on the side and trying to also look at the cages.
Wits and awareness for me, please.
Nim, 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 nim.
From what you can see where you are, they are mortals, they are breathing. They don't seem to be troubled breathing, if that makes sense to you. So as far as you can tell, there's no serious injury at the very least. They could be asleep, they could be knocked out, but some weird gacky shit happened to them.
Not weird gacky shit.
That's the worst kind.
That's the worstest kind.
Yeah. As opposed to
Right.
normal gacky shit, which we still
Right.
wouldn't recognize.
I'm still slowly just like, boop, boop, trying to get closer. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you think we can go along that route? You want us gone. Fortunately for you, we want to be gone. But there's no point in us leaving here if we can't leave the park.
You can always leave the park, you just go. And you'll notice that this
No,
guy
we-
is holding in his other hand a tanto blade.
Shit.
Noted.
Right.
It's like, now, you see, we literally tried that, and something turned us around. We don't know what that thing is.
Did you kill them?
Kill what?
The spirits in the park?
Can't kill spirits
There's all
that are
sorts
already
of them.
dead.
Did you make them spirits?
Oh,
I think is the question
don't
she
be
meant.
thick. Don't be thick. You knew exactly
are you,
what I
Are
was
you
saying.
the reason they became spirit? Are you the reason they are dead?
The guy holding the tanto blade runs it across
It's
his
'cause I'm a
forearm
woman.
to his hand.
I swear it's because I'm a woman. Mm-hmm.
That's because he called him thick.
I didn't call him. He was already acting like an asshole. That was before I called him thick.
What do you mean he's acting like an asshole? These 4 people have just invaded their own property and are demanding questions of them, and now you foreigners are all like, "Oh, you're an asshole."
Yeah, they've got 3 bodies in cages. They're totally not assholes. Yeah.
The guy that's drawing his blade or whatever he's doing,
Yeah.
is he the one I was already aiming at? Because I said I was aiming at the guy that was with his hands behind his back.
No, you're aiming
I
at the
think
guy
so.
with the hands behind his back.
Okay.
The guy with
Oh.
so there's a guy with his hands behind his back and a guy with a Tonto.
Yes.
Wonderful. So, because I don't like these fucking attitudes, I am going to raise my gun. Prepare myself
Damn it,
to take a
Can't
shot.
it's a god damn it, can we wait? Please.
Well, he's already doing it. Look
And
at
you'll
him. He's
notice
cutting
they're all
himself
looking
open.
to each other and they're just giving those,
It's a
very,
Yeah.
Fuck, what's that
guys,
movie?
guys, like
The Spaghetti Western. The
Okay,
Spaghetti
look.
Western. Fistful of Dollars thing,
Can-
and they're all just like,
Oh, the good, the
look,
bad.
can we stop with the
Thank you.
can we stop with the good, the bad, and the ugly stuff real quick, all right? Focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me, please.
Well,
I'm
hold on,
ready.
what
I'm
is-
ready.
Just like
The
I
guy with
just
the tanto. What?
I just want to talk. And then he looks at it. Then he looks at Solomon. I just want to talk. Looks at Marcelina. I just want to talk.
The gun raises higher.
Yeah, what does the guy with the tanto blade do? Since he rouse checked?
nothing yet.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if you were
You'll
in
just
the
see
middle of
that
describing
his-
something.
Forearm
He's
to
begun.
hand is bleeding.
Look. Okay.
No,
it's
we
like,
have
no,
guns.
it's like
We've
Skull will put
dealt
his
with
hands
these
together
guys
like this.
before.
Like we have seen people do that before. We know you are getting ready to fight.
You have 2 guns trained on us from
We
the moment
do.
you walked in.
Yeah, we do. And I am trying to talk them into lowering them
That one went higher.
because okay,
Yes.
everything you are saying is factually correct. No argument. Okay.
That one's sneaking closer to the cages and thinks we can't see her.
God damn it.
But she's dancing like Michael fucking Jackson.
Okay. Can we like look, do you want us to leave?
Yes.
Cuz we would really like to, but we can't until we find out how.
You just follow the path straight. We will allow you to leave. You shouldn't have been able to get here in the first place.
I see. So they did
But
kill
we
them.
did.
And that's what they're going to do with these bodies as well.
All right. I'm going to make a rouse check.
Yes.
I am rousing. Oh, I passed that one. Good. I roused prowess,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
good.
we will leave.
This isn't going to be good. Okay.
Should have made his promise to leave without a fight. Throws a punch.
Yeah! Yes! As soon as he swings, I'm gonna let off a
All right.
shot.
One at a time. So that's going to go to Skull
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Punching.
My intention.
Strength. Brawl. Bitch.
Strength roll.
You better believe I'm re-rolling some of that.
Mm.
Just one.
I can't do reroll.
Also-
guys.
And keep in mind, and also just to let you know, I'm swinging with the hand that has the brass knucks in it. So if it works, it is a total damage modifier of +4.
Ah.
That's going to go to you. And that's 4,
Okay.
5. Because it's +4 from the brass knuckles, +1 for the margin anyway, so that's going to be 5 damage. 2.
I would actually like to spend some willpower to get a bit.
Okie dokie.
Oh, crit vision.
I mean, if I get a crit, cool, but like I haven't spent any willpower so far, so.
You don't have to rub it in.
So that'll be the 2, 4, and a 1. 5, 3, that'll be 2, 1, 2. And Skull's fist comes blazing fast out of nowhere, cracking across the Gaki's face, and you hear bone crunch as it impacts, and he spits out blood. Okay.
Go.
Marcelina, did you want to go next?
Yeah, I want to take a shot at the guy who's already cut himself.
Which one? There's 2.
Oh, I thought you said only one of them had started cutting themselves.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I mean, yes, one's only cut himself.
Uh-huh.
All right. The guy that's on my side. I imagine that Skull is in the middle, and I'm like on the left, and
Dex,
that one's on the
firearms.
Cool. I don't need to do any minuses to this, right?
Nope.
Because it's not a mental or... Okay.
I mean, it's mental in a way, but it's not that mental.
Yeah.
And Marcelina fires off a single shot, glides through the air, and impacts straight in Nagaki's chest. He clutches at the wound as blood begins to spill out. And you notice as his legs shake, but he just about manages to remain standing on all 2 feet. Violet, my lovely Nosferatu. Oh, I'm sorry there, Marcelina.
Hey.
Oh no, I just as I shoot, I see he takes impact, and I want to start moving my body like towards Violet, so that way I can act as like a kind of shield, so she can
You'll have
continue
to
doing
do
whatever
that at
she's
the
going to do
start
next.
of your next turn, because that would be a minor action.
Okay.
And you can't do a minor action after you've done
Okay.
a major action. Major action.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Okay, never mind.
Violet! My Violet
Aye?
Nosferatu, what are you planning to do here?
Well, actually, Violet's gonna crouch down and pounce at him.
Oh, shit.
You're going to call that the Thriller?
Right? I'm gonna try and grapple them to the floor.
Would you like to do that to one of the bastards that's been shot, or one of the bastards that's been hit in the face? Or another totally different bastard?
Totally different bastard, please. He's got to have something.
Totally different bastard. Alright then.
Right.
I'll give you that totally different bastard.
Preferably not the one I'm aiming at, because that one's about to get shot at.
So that'll be Strength and
Is
Brawl. And you do not apply your bonus or speciality, for fighting kindred.
Oh, it's
because they are not-
grappling. Oh,
Oh, grappling, that's right. And that's
Yeah.
fine, that is. You go
it
for it.
is. Gonna.
It's alright, Miss Storyteller, I was gonna anyway.
I'm doing it anyway. It's fine.
I'm gonna re-roll to a 3 and a 5.
I don't think you should.
Wasn't worth it.
That wasn't.
As Violet comes leaping out of the shadows like a crazed bloodhound, sinks claws and feet into her victim, driving him down to the floor and not allowing him to stand up. Solo Man.
So anyway, I start blasting. I will probably begin backing away while shooting to keep distance between me and
Alright.
Zagaki.
Dexterity. Firearms.
I may have pulled my gun first, but I'm still hurt. I don't want to get hurt more.
You're gonna.
Also, you're one-hand shooting.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I can't re-roll any of those.
Wah, wah.
Solomon!
On the plus side, it's
shit.
not a messy.
It's still messy.
Oh, yeah,
Mm.
true. Yeah.
Solomon attempts to fire off several rounds at the Gaki in front of him. Unfortunately, the Gaki is able to move at lightning speed and dodges every single bullet incoming. As he does so, the beast inside of him screams. Solomon becomes obsessed with possessing something in the scene, desiring to add it to his proverbial hoard. This can be anything from an object to a piece of property to an actual person, and any action not taken towards this purpose incurs a 2-dice penalty. This compulsion persists until ownership is established, or the object of desire becomes unavailable. You are suffering from the meaty compulsion, covetousness, and the general compulsion of dominance at the same time.
I got really worried because I was like, the only thing that we've been described as being in here is people, but I've got an idea.
Lovely.
I think that was everyone. So now it's what's left of the Gaki's turn. Skull, you are in close combat with this guy here, who has roused, and is going to use Bloodlash upon you. Have that.
Yeah.
Would you like to dodge or smash him back? If you smash him back, that will count as your turn. And you know what? Because you got all fucking, I'm gonna willpower reroll. So am I for this.
Okay, you do that. I am going to
Fucking yes.
I'm gonna try to grab him. I'm just gonna try to grab him.
Strength.
No, you know
roll.
what? I'm not gonna try to grab him. I am not gonna
go
try to grab him. I'm just gonna try to bite him.
That's gonna be, I think that's strength melee. Double check.
No, that is still strength brawl because
that is
melee
strength brawl.
It involves combat weapons. Yeah.
And your lore sheet allows you to bypass the bullshittery of a called shot.
Yeah.
So you
and
just got to
I have
beat.
a biting specialty for brawl.
Lovely. So apply your specialty.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That is no good. We are spending a bit more willpower for.
I'm stressed.
You're stressed now. Wait until you hear what Bloodlash does.
No, stop. I've already been lashed.
I'm gonna let that one pass.
All right, lay that damage on me.
Let it go. Let it go. There you go.
You take 5 aggravated damage, which we're going to halve down to 3.
Hello.
3 aggravated damage as the blood-like whip is lashed across your chest, opening a huge wound and exposing parts of your muscle and sinew beneath.
So that's a total of 5 ag, you said?
That's 5 ag, but we're halving it to 3.
Okay.
Which is
That's
pretty fucking harsh.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh.
Look, I love the fact
Okay,
that after you're going to
assume-
come out of this, so that you're just going to find Elias just there going, "Hi everyone, how are you?"
Well, assuming I walk out of here, I know what Skull's doing later.
Anyhow, fucking yikes.
Let's have a look. The next one is grappled by Violet. He is going to do Goblin Spark. Goblin Spark. Which is this. Oh, and it just increases his hunger flat out. And so, Violet, you need to roll stamina and awareness.
Oh. Okay.
And you're not going to get out of that. You are blinded for the next turn. As pieces of flame emanate from the victim's body, turning into fire beneath you. Please do a terror frenzy check for me at difficulty 3.
Where's that? At the bottom?
All the way at the bottom, frenzy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Wah, wah. So I put in difficulty 3.
Yes, please.
Dodge-ish.
You should be alright for this. Oh, you're not. Oh, okay. The beast inside of you is triggered by the amount of fire directly in your vicinity and under your grasp. You need to run. You need to get out. You must flee from this body. You can choose to ride the wave for the cost of willpower, but you are also blind. You are going to, unless you ride the wave, release the victim and try to get the fuck away from him.
Wow. I'm gonna try and ride it once. How do I do that?
So, in which case that's going to cost you a willpower.
Yep.
But you may
That's fine.
retain control of your character, even though you are still, but you will still have to succumb to the terror frenzy. If you choose not to ride the wave, I would be like, so you're going to release a guy, you're going to go fumbling around, not able to see anything, maybe get a piano out and start singing Gangster's Paradise.
Wonderful. I could do that.
Yeah, yeah. But if you choose
Can
to
we
ride the
see
wave...
that she's been blinded?
I don't know if you'll know that she's blinded until she actually releases, or if she releases the victim and starts stumbling around and says, I'm blind!
Right. Okay.
No!
I'm blind!
I can't dance anymore!
Oh my god. Alright.
Number 2. Number 3 is being shot at by Solomon. Ooh. Oh. Oh. As Solomon stares at his target, he notices the flesh begins to cling to the bones, slowly dehydrating itself and removing all of the moisture, and turning into a corpse-like state standing in front of him.
And that's his turn, right? That's all he does?
Nope.
In the interest of honesty, I keep thinking about that attack, and I feel like 3 ag. I feel like Skull should probably do a Fury Frenzy check.
That is a big hit.
Yeah, it's a huge chunk of damage.
Storyteller?
Yeah, fuck it. Fury Frenzy then.
Okay.
That's with the minus modifier for Fury for Brujar,
Yep,
isn't it?
because it is Fury Frenzy, so do I just put in -2 for that?
Yeah. Difficulty would be base of 3.
Let's do it.
And the beast inside of Skull rears up once more. He is consumed by the desire to destroy the Gaki standing in front of him with its blood-like whip that has just attacked him and opened up a huge gaping wound upon his chest. And we'll come to you after. So that leaves... Oh, good. My favourite. Who is engaged with... Marcelina!
Yes, hello.
I'm sorry.
I am struggling.
And this guy is going to use Bloodlash upon you.
Oh. Just say you fucking hate me. I'm gonna... Can I dodge out of
You
the way?
most certainly can with Dex and Athletics.
Okay, great. So good. Love this for me. Here we go.
You can't re-roll either, can you?
Nope.
So you're also going to take 3 aggravated damage as the blood-like whip cracks across your face and skull and opens up deep, painful wounds upon your body. Do you also want to do a Fury Frenzy test?
I am out.
You're in torpor?
Yes.
Oh, Marcelina.
Yep.
You've just been given a
Yep,
reroll,
yep.
though.
I have! Whoever gave me a reroll, bless you. You're wonderful. And so much love given to you. Okay. So I would want to reroll all 3.
Oh, you can do the whole roll again.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! I understand. Okay. Let me... And that was athletics and dex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, child, please. Fucking dice gods.
I mean, it can't be worse than 1.
It can't.
It can be slightly better. So that's 2 aggravated damage as the blood-like whip
Okay.
crashes
Are
into
you
your
still
flesh.
standing?
I'm still standing, but it's rough out here in these
Yeah.
streets. Okay.
So,
Thank
in the
you.
interests of keeping this chronicle running, I'll make this the last round of combat, and it'll be your turn. Skull,
Wonderful.
Fury Frenzied.
Yes. So we are 1,000,000% going to be attempting another bite.
Are you riding the wave?
Fuck it. Yeah, I'll spend a willpower to get a bite, to try to ensure I get a bite in.
Lovely.
Do I get any bonuses because I'm frenzying right now?
I thought you did, but no, apparently not. You should really, shouldn't you? I feel.
You're the storyteller. That's up to you.
I think... that would be shit. This one time, we're not going to give any bonuses. But I will homebrew something, because I feel you should get something for Fury Frenzy. I mean, riding the wave, you're giving up the willpower, but you're keeping the control of your character. But I feel you should get more for a Fury Frenzy. I feel you should get more for a Terror. Something to actually, it would make sense. That if you're in a Fury Frenzy, you should get something to help you with that. You should get something for the hunger. You should get something to help you run away for a terror. I feel that I'll work on something, but for what I'll do is, as a compromise for this one, anything you do to him will not be opposed, as you'll just be completely lashing out with full focus and fury and righteous anger.
Well, I mean, I am biting, so if you're saying it's going unopposed, then I don't have. Well, I mean, I suppose I should roll just in case, like, fail or bestial fail. So
The last thing you want, but yeah, go for it.
go.
That's going to be like difficulty 1. Fuck me.
Here I go, spending willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like success
Really?
at cost?
Yes, please.
Right.
Yes, please.
These dice.
It's not been anyone's night tonight.
Yeah.
Skull.
Spot is Talmahe Ra.
You say that. I was having shit luck with the real dice earlier.
Shit.
Car just. Skull.
You can't.
His real name's Jack. Skull extends all 4 of his fangs and leaps upon the Gaki, sinking his teeth deep into the flesh, tearing a piece off and exposing broken blood vessels and drinking deep and deeper from the leaking red fluid straight into his gullet, draining the man.
Oh, can we say I use Savage Feed so that, like, he becomes visibly sunken in?
I was going to do something pretty much like that anyway, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
like,
are going to be able
I
to
have a power
slake.
that justifies it.
You're going to slake 5 hunger, but you are going to take 2 humanity for allowing the beast to take you over. 2 humanity stains, sorry, for allowing the beast to take you over and completely destroy this man.
Okay. As I'm drinking this guy, does he taste human?
No, he is Gaki. Well, I mean, he will taste human. He will taste human, but he is an Akuma.
Okay.
The reason you're getting the humanity stains isn't because of who you're draining, it's the savagery of this feed. That the beast completely
okay.
took over, and you feel your humanity taking this hit because you have allowed the beast to completely control you, to completely annihilate someone.
Okay. I mean, I'm asking because diablerie isn't a thing here, in this situation.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcelina,
Yeah.
what's left of you? It's your turn.
I am definitely and struggling. Shit. Well, we gonna have to
Bet
just
you wish
take
you brought
another
Elias
shot.
with
This
you now,
time,
don't you?
oh, I do. Well, I didn't want him to go help the lady to begin with, but he has morals, so I'm gonna take multiple shots at this thing, this being here, to try to just end them.
Go for Dex, firearms, and he's gonna try and dodge.
These dice don't give a fuck about me or my life. I'll tell you
I didn't
that
want
right
him to
now.
win that. I'm not gonna lie, I did not want him to win that. Would you like success at cost?
Yes, I would. I would very much like that.
Marcelina fires off
Yes.
one very skilled bullet, hitting straight through the eye socket of the Gaki in front of her, blowing out the back of his skull, and he falls to his knees, dead. The beast inside of you roars between your skull. Marcelina cannot use teamwork and performs any action that avoids establishing dominance or challenging authority at a 2 dice penalty to all of her pools. This compulsion ends when the vampire has won and gloated over it. You are suffering from the dominance compulsion. Violet,
Great.
Terror Frenzy,
Yeah?
Blinded.
No. I'm just gonna bite down. Just try and
Would you like to ride the wave?
again.
You spent the
She already
willpower,
did it
so
last
you
time.
are You are riding a wave, aren't you? So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You need to
I wish
run.
to numb.
You cannot. You have to run.
I can't numb. I have to run.
You have to flee from the
'Cause
source
of
of
the
danger,
change.
which is this Gaki that is triggering your Rotschreck fear.
Then I yeet myself off him. Like, poof.
Go and hide in a corner or hide behind what's left of Marcelina, kind of thing. That sort of.
I can't see either. Or so
That's
I'm
true.
He's blind. Maybe
So-
you can smell my blood. I don't know.
Violet will
I'm so
stand
sweat
up.
in that direction.
Violet will stand up, removing herself from the source of the flame, and stagger around the area, unable to see anything as her eyes adjust. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you
Han Solo.
Are any of them dead yet?
2.
2 are dead.
What about the
There's
one
2 more
I
left.
shot?
There's the one that just scared the shit out of Violet. And the one that's standing in front of you that looks like a corpse.
Well, let's try and make him an actual corpse. I'd like to shoot him.
Are you sure?
Well, well, when you say it like that.
I'm going to give you
There's
help
a
this
reason
once
why
because
he was a corpse.
yeah, I'm going to tell you why this once because this has gone not the way I thought it was going to go. He has activated corpse skin, which will bypass 1 damage, and he is at full health. You would
Oh,
get
well, okay.
a bit more, pardon the pun, bang for your buck if you shoot the one that scared the shit out of Violet, as he has been hurt and doesn't have any modifiers.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like
Bless you.
Oh, yeah, bless you.
Sorry.
I'd probably
You're
hear
allergic to Gaki.
Violet's... Yeah. I probably would have heard Violet's freak out, and I'll turn my gun at the one that she was fighting and fire upon him.
Dex, firearms, and he is going to get a dodge, but it's going to be at a reduced pool penalty.
I miss having specialties to combat.
Another messy
Me, these
critical.
messy
Really, Solomon?
criticals.
Fucking
Rip.
really, Solomon?
I'll delay it to my next roll. I don't know how much that'll help, but I'll delay it.
Okay, Solomon.
Solomon unloads the entire clip of the magazine into the Gaki on the floor until blood is spilling out and the flames recede into nothingness. As this was the last round of combat, going to say that Violet recovers, sees the dead Gaki that pissed her off in the first place, and stealths her way over to the remaining Gaki. Sneaks behind him and breaks his neck, killing him. I was also going to say that Elias defied Skull's request and has joined them in the warehouse, the large room.
You might want to repeat
Elias,
that for him.
you defied the message, as you could hear, as they were taking far too much time to come and meet you. And you have managed to find your way to this pagoda and followed the sounds of obvious combat down and meet up with the Koshari. I am going to call it here for the night, because this has turned into an investigation scene and it is getting late. But is there anything anyone would like to talk about first before I bring the session to a close?
Since I emptied
Marcelina is just gonna fall.
yeah. Since
The
I
fuck,
emptied,
man? Why you gotta come in here like this? I told you to wait.
I don't know who you're yelling at. Oh,
Elias.
Well, I was patiently waiting, and the night was getting late, and I was worried that everyone was taking too long, and I was concerned for your safety. So I figured, well, if they haven't responded, perhaps they need my help. So I came to help. I'll look across everyone. Clearly, I should have been here sooner to assist. I think you all needed it.
literally, Marcelina's just on the floor, broken and beaten at this moment.
Kill me.
Fucking end me, bro. What were you gonna say, Solomon?
oh, it was gonna be funny. It's not important.
Oh, okay.
I can try to heal someone.
Someone. Simply someone.
Well, who? Which of my Kodoi friends needs the most help?
Points at the Marcelina who is still
Yes,
conscious
on the
but
floor.
laying on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep in mind though, like Skull is doing this with like a huge gouge in his chest with like muscle tissue and rib exposed, and he's pointing at
Same.
Marcelina.
Same, though.
Can I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to
Ooh.
heal Marcelina?
Absolutely. You want to heal the aggravated, I take it?
That depends on my roll, if I get enough successes or not. Moment.
Oh, I see. Okay. So basically, you're not going to take the whole scene. It's difficulty 2. You need a margin of 3 to heal aggravated.
Yes.
So 3 minimum successes needed to heal ag. Just barely enough. And Elias... Oh no, it's... Yeah. Oh god, I'm losing my mind. Elias kneels next to the body of Marcelina, places his hands gently upon her, making sure that he touches her in only appropriate ways, and channels his vitae through his hands into Marcelina's body, and you will see visibly one wound has healed up enough that she is no longer suffering as much. You may heal one aggravated.
Thank you, Elias. I keep having to have you do this, huh?
No, it's
Poor Solomon.
quite alright. That's why I'm here to help.
Poor Solomon is still without a hand. We will have to help him at some point. Right.
Skull will put a hand on Elias's shoulder and just kind of like do like a little thank you shake on it.
Yeah. Right.
Alright.
Maybe we should get these people out. We need to see who they are. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the cage. I'm assuming the cages are locked.
Cages are locked. But
Okay.
if we're at that stage, I shall call it in. Well, now. Or here. At here. This point. Here. This far.
Yes.
No further. Line must be drawn here.
Scene.
Now just take this phaser rifle and smash it. We will bring an end to this week's session here. And you will search the room at the start of next. For the meantime, Elias, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Naskavian, I play tabletop, one table of horrors every week, and you can DM me on the Discord. Or
And
at
you'll
me, but I
never
might
respond
not
to
see
it.
I know, I'm bad at responding.
Skull! Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Oh, I do plenty of things. I am Comic Book Joker. You can find me right here on this show on Table of Horrors every Friday. You can also find me at the RPG table on Saturdays, which is tomorrow. For the Take a Breath Vampire the Masquerade stream. However, tomorrow is the last one for a while. Tomorrow is the season finale. Oh, this Sunday you will also find me on at McStabber Studio because I am in a vampire one shot for them.
Hey. Cool.
And then obligatory mention of Cajun Knights Discord server where you can do play-by-post for Vampire the Masquerade, a homebrew for Werewolf or Mage or Changeling that will allow you to play any of those in a V5 style system. We also do live games. Sometimes I run the live games. Sometimes a bunch of my other fellow mods, many of whom also show up on this very channel, Table of Horrors. Come check. You should come check us out. We're really weird there.
Venture 1399. Thank you for all your support as well. We need to get you to guest on here sometime.
Yes, thank you for the support.
Marcelina! Who are you?
Hello.
What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find
Apparently
out.
not. Apparently not, according to the dice this game. Apparently I don't do shit. But yes,
right.
I am the Aretha Rave. You can find me on all social media platforms and on here, as of right now, playing Vampire the Masquerade, eventually Demon the Fallen, and probably a few other things. There are other things in the works that you guys will find out about soon enough. I'll probably be posting all of that information on Twitter. So if there's anywhere that you want to find me in order to find out what I'm on, what I'm doing, Twitter is the place to go.
Troubling. Violet! Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Sometimes I do things. Lady Dark Scarlet on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok even. There's vampires there and stuff. Done.
Too fast. I'm still just adding you to the notes I have to do. Solomon. What do you do?
Worse. Why?
Do you do things? Let's
He's getting slower.
find out.
Getting slower and slower.
I'm disappointed we didn't have a full-on William Shatner version, though.
I was tempted.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Solomon, who are you? What do you do things? Let's find out.
My name's Nitro Typat. You can find me practically everywhere at Nitro Typat. That's about it. This is my best. He went southern. Okay. I was doing Christopher Walken, and then he turned into Christopher Southern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
All of our players make use of the V5 Player's Guide from Bully on TableGoth, which you can find on Storyteller's Vault at a very reasonable price. El linko in descripto. I think that's all we've got. Next week, we've got next session of Nihon Nights. Things are getting made slowly but surely for other games. Demon of the Fallen is coming together very nicely. Thought I'd preview my specially selected Demon of the Fallen shirt.
It's very
It's a
beautiful.
nice shirt.
I was
It's
too
a nice
excited.
shiny.
I was too excited not to wear it. I had to wear it. It goes faster than my other
I-
shirts.
Yeah.
3 times faster to be exact.
Star Trek Adventures USS Pendragon is being penned as well, and will be coming back soon. I've shot myself in the fucking foot with that episode, this coming one, but it's going to be fun. We have some more STA stuff contained coming up. There's a Wraith thing planned at some point in the future, as soon as I can get that written. Homeworld TTRPG is releasing soon. I'll be gathering up players for that. There's Transformers TTRPG releasing soon. I'll be gathering up players for that. And then, for some reason, apparently I have masochistic tendencies. I have a very special project planned for some time later in the year.
Ooh.
Who should we go raiding on? No one we know is on at the moment. Anyone got any suggestions?
No.
Suggestions
No.
for
Who they should go rating on?
what? Oh.
Right then. Well, we'll go raiding on no one. Sorry, everybody. No one's playing Vampire the Masquerade either, as far as I can see. Nope. So, thank you all for
Quiet
coming.
night.
We'll see you next week. But of course, we can't go until Selena says the line.
Stay tasty.